What do you guys mean, late streamer? Elucidate me. What do you mean, late streamer? I'm on time. Rob literally told us to call you late streamer. So late? Not actually accurate. Mouse of Leaves, more like? That's actually true. That's actually accurate. I have no idea where the rune activated, but it activated somewhere. Hey, Junie Pops, thank you so much for the subscription. Everyone, you may have heard of live streams, and you may have heard of video games, but this is gonna be the first ever time of me learning to read. Get on with it. I'm explaining what a book is, Soppy. Can you give me a second? I'm trying to figure out what it is myself, okay? It's like a... Oh no. I don't know. Learning to read, are you sure? What else would this be? What else would this be? What the hell? Why is there two of me? What else would this be? What the hell? Why is there two of me? What the hell? What the hell? Why is there three of me? What the hell? Why is there three of me? Oh, there it is. Ugh. The scares are already starting, chat. Who knows what kind of frightening jump scare could be next? The other yous are lost in the house? What house? What, of Leaves? Let me see if I can't find... What, today we're playing, House of Leaves? What? What the fuck? So is this a pop-up book or something? What the hell? Yeah. Today, I have been... How do I put this? I guess this is a commission stream. Well, a request, really. To do a House of Leaves stream. It's a book. I'll explain it to you now. The main thing you need to know is that the book isn't for you. The second thing you need to know is that it's a horror book. It contains some content warnings. It is, there are parts in it that get pretty heavy. Luckily, as a comedy streamer, I will just look away and sing a beautiful tune. And then I won't get a horror book? Streamlined. You're gonna get me TOS'd already. It's also a horror book. Fine, okay. It's a horrifying book. There, are you all happy for the rest of the stream? Oh my god. TOS terms of Soppy? Dude, if I had to obey the terms of Soppy, my stream fucking dead already. I am fucked, dude. Twitch will toss you out? No. Whenever there is a problem in any way with this book, I will just look away. This background is amazing. Ah, well, my friend. Come on in. Come on in to the James 7T reading corner. That's right. We can read, and you're gonna be able to watch me read in complete silence for 2 hours. Everyone said to me, I want to do a reading stream, right? They never said it had to be out loud. Best bit of the stream, right? Right? And get this, we've got other things for tonight too, right? Check that shit out. We've got discussion questions. Every once in a while, when I think that you maybe don't understand what's going on, not me, I'm gonna understand this book. I'll understand it just fine. Discussion questions? I spelled discussion right. You can see it. It's going away. Okay? The discussion questions are going away. You couldn't stay silent for like 18 seconds? I talk a lot, okay? The point is, House of Leaves is a big, confusing book, but not to me. Is this your first House of Leaves stream? It is. This is the inaugural reading House of Leaves stream. All of the rest will be called 2 or 3, or if I decide that I'm not that good at reading, I won't do anymore. So this could be an exclusive event. Hey, thank you, Chongo Show. House of Weed? No, I looked at the cover again. It's not called that. Play myhouse.wad afterwards? I'm not doing that. How, Sabi, how are you making those noises? I thought that those options were turned off on the stream. I thought you couldn't do that. Anyway, the point is, this is a horror book. The relevant disclaimers come applied. It will deal with horror topics. There will likely be a jump scare, knowing books. And the la 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 is hidden? Nothing's hidden. I don't know how those noises are coming through. Evil viewer Satan B666 says, I'm so scared. Dude, you're creatures. There's also sex, by the way? Fuck, okay. No, wrapping it up. Just ending the stream. Everyone, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much. We're wrapping up the stream because somebody said sex in my chat. I'm kidding. Evil, hey, thank you so much for the subscription. That's very kind of you. Violence and violence in bookies and sex on books? Am I supposed to, like, sing that to the Family Guy tune somehow? Crow didn't show up on stream, but we heard it like a scary ghost. Yeah, you can make some kinds of, what are they fucking called? Jump scares happen. If you want to set the ambiance, what are they called? The little things you can throw at streamers. They'll make a thunderstorm happen. I don't know. Figure that shit out yourself. Anyway, regardless, who wants to get scared? Is it finally time? 7 minutes in? To read House of Leaves? Do you always wear a hat indoors? I don't know who that is. James7T. Yeah, that's my name. How do we tell James that the color of the chat and the color of the carpet are the same? Yeah. It's for ambiance. You know that. I'm not changing the color of the on-screen chat. You have to stay hidden. Chat, I'm protecting you. What if one of the creatures from House of Leaves attacks you? I don't actually know if there's creatures in this. I don't know what the House of... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Real quick. Before we actually start, let's go to the discussion question stream. Whoa, my god, chat is so fucking big over my face. Dude, guys, quiet the fuck down. Holy shit. There, okay. Now you're so small and beautiful. Look at you. There. That's a perfect size. Okay. Do you mind if we compare your art style to the things I like, or is that... Yeah, go ahead. Anyway, add 12 hours of silence occasionally. Perhaps you should add a flashing warning for the lightning? Rob, that's so small in the background. Anyway. What's it called? I don't know what's in this book. I've read a bit of warnings about it. It says creature warning. Oh my god. I can't... Rob, add it to the stream title then. You're a moderator, you can do that. Exclamation point bomb? Soppy, don't do that. It's words inside? Yeah, it is words inside. The background reminds me of Ghost Trick. Oh, I've never played Ghost Trick. Whether or not there is a creature is literally ambiguous? Okay, so I was right. There's some sort of, what's it called? Gas leak in the House of Leaves. You should play it, it's so funny. What the squeep? Okay, give me a second. Flashing warning. There. You guys make me do so much work to type one sentence. Don't you know I'm trying to read a book? Does this stream have a purpose? We're reading the House of Leaves. Are you mad at me? House of Leaks? See, that's my theory. I think it's gonna be revealed by the end that they were engineers. House of Weeks? Oh my god, kind of like a guinea pig. Anyway, the discussion has gone on long enough. Discuss amongst yourselves the amount of which you are scared. I will likely be stopping frequently to discuss this book, its various creatures, and judging any and all characters. Okay? Okay? Looking forward to seeing how you handle the citations. Well, hopefully chat will be able to cite sources with me. Jane, will you release audiobooks now? I haven't even started reading the book. The VOD watchers are trying to strangle me right now for not reading. The live viewers are trying to strangle me right now for not reading already. Can you imagine an audiobook where the guy just keeps getting sidetracked before it starts? VOD watchers skip 30 minutes. VOD watchers skip 1 second. Mark Z. Dan. Okay, listen. I haven't practiced any names or anything about this book, basically. So, when I get stuck on a word, I need you to not judge me. I'm gonna run past them as fast as I can. Everyone click X. I'm reading, damn it. Okay. Mark Z. Danielski's House of Leaves. By Zampano? I don't know if that's a publishing company or a guy. With introduction and notes by Johnny Truant. 2nd edition. Hey, James, can you do me a favor and before you read the book, open page 67, word 3? How would I even know if we have the same copy? There. How's the music, chat? Hey! Renewing myself, but with viciousness in my heart. I hope you never escape the house. It's not really nice. Thanks for the subscription. This is a copyright page. Chat, do I read the copyright page or do I get to skip this? Little fucking creature outside. Page 67, word 3 is takes. See, now that's not a funny word. Skip? Beast outside? I don't know what beast you're talking. Okay, copyright symbol 2000. God, this is boring. I'm skipping this shit. A note on this edition. Okay. So, the thing about House of Leaves is that as an audio medium, it doesn't really work. So let's continue reading The House of Leaves as an audio medium. You can't read the book if it's copyrighted. This is transformative. Whenever the beast appears, I'm gonna go, ah, and scare you, okay? Twitch has told me that your stream may contain tobacco. No, the book House of Leaves may contain tobacco, okay? Yeah. Are you ready? This is not for you. Introduction. I still get nightmares. In fact, I get them so often, I should be used to them by now. I'm not. No one ever really gets used to nightmares. For a while, I tried every pill imaginable. Anything to curb the fear. Excedrin PMs, melatonin, L-tryptophan, Valium, Vicodin. Quite a few members of the Barbitol family. A pretty extensive list, frequently mixed, often matched. With shots of bourbon, a few lung-rasping bong hits, sometimes even the vaporous confidence trip of cocaine. None of it helped. I think it's pretty safe to assume there's no lab sophisticated enough yet to synthesize the kind of chemicals I need. A Nobel Prize to the one who invents that puppy. Discussion question 1. Would you smoke a puppy? Why would he invent a puppy? This isn't what's written in... It's chapter 1, damn it! This is discussion questions. This is different. Yes, Voxel Fox K. I am reading House of Leaves. I'm going to be pausing frequently to talk with chat, to discuss. Puppy fell in the bong. I'd smoke the dog if it was little and green. No, this isn't chapter 1. This is the intro. Oh my god. Fine. This is the intro. Maybe I'd smoke all dogs. Why? I'm so tired. Sleep's been stalking me for too long to remember. Inevitable, I suppose. Sadly, though, I'm not looking forward to the prospect. I say sadly because there was a time that I actually enjoyed sleeping. In fact, I slept all the time. And that was before my friend Lude, Lude, woke me up at 3 in the morning and asked me to come over to his place. Who knows, if I hadn't heard the phone ring, would everything be different now? I think about that a lot. Actually, Lude told me about the old man a month or so before that fateful evening. Is that right? Fate? It sure as hell wasn't full. Or was it exactly that? I'd been in the throes of looking for an apartment after a little difficulty with a landlord, who woke me up one morning convinced he was Charles de Gaulle. I was so stunned by this announcement that before I could think twice, I'd already told him how, in my humble estimation, he did not at all resemble an airport, though the thought of a 757 landing on him was not at all disagreeable. I was promptly evicted. I could have put up a fight, but the place was a nut house anyway, and I was glad to leave. As it turned out, Chucky de Gaulle burnt the place down to ground a week later. Told the police a 757 had crashed into it. During the following weeks, while I was couching it from Santa Monica to Silver Lake, looking for an apartment, Lude told me about this old guy who lived in his building. He had a first-floor apartment peering out over a wide, overgrown courtyard. Supposedly, the old man had told Lude he would be dying soon. I didn't think much of it, though it wasn't exactly the kind of thing you forget either. At the time, I just figured Lude had been putting me on. He likes to exaggerate. I eventually found a studio in Hollywood and settled back into my mind-numbing routine as an apprentice at a tattoo shop. It was the end of '96. Nights were cold. I was getting over this woman named Clara English who told me she wanted to date someone at the top of the food chain. So I demonstrated my unflagging devotion to her memory by immediately developing a heavy crush on the stripper who had Thumper tattooed right beneath her G-string, barely an inch from her shaved pussy, or as she liked to call it, the happiest place on earth. Suffice it to say, Lude and I spent the last hours of the year alone, scouting for new bars, new faces, driving recklessly through the canyons, doing our best to talk the high midnight heavens down with a whole lot of bullshit. We never did. Talk them down, I mean. Then, the old man died. End of book. Chat, listen to me. Just because they mention one stripper doesn't make it a sex book. The stream isn't PG-13. I never said that. It's not TOS to read a book, Soppy. Whatever. How many strippers until it's a sex book? What, do you need me to quantify a number? She's a plot-important stripper? That just makes her plot important. That doesn't make it a sex book. Stop saying it's a sex book. Erotica TOS? Yes, literally. If... Whatever. Discussion question... What's it called? Okay, question 1. This introduction paragraph ends with the phrase, "Then the old man died." Do you think the old man is the monster? This is question 2? Man? No, this is... I said question 2. Somewhere in everything I said. I think the monster is dead. So what, the monster died before chapter 1? I think James is the what the... Whatever. The old man is the leaves. Next question. Okay. Would you smoke the old man? You all said you'd smoke the damn puppy. Would you smoke the old man? Oh my god, who did this? I'm voting no on that damn poll. Anyway. I'm looking for the damn button to let me read the book. Can I read now? I can. From what I can gather now, he was an American. Oh no, am I supposed to be reading this entire book in like a British accent? Oh god. Pretend I'm putting on an accent for the entire book. Oh jeez. Though as I was later find out, those who worked with him detected an accent even if they'd never say for certain where it came from. No, Johnny is from LA? Is that in Britain? He called himself Zampano. It was the name he put down on his apartment lease and on several other fragments I found. I never came across any sort of ID, whether a passport, license, or other official document was insinuating that yes, he was indeed an actual and accounted for person. Who knows where his name really came from? Maybe it's authentic, maybe made up, maybe borrowed. A nom de plume, or my personal favorite, nom de guerre. As Lude told it, Zampano had lived in the building for many years. And though he mostly kept to himself, he never failed to appear every morning and evening to walk around the courtyard. A wild place with knee-high weeds and, back then, populated with over 80 stray cats. Apparently the cats liked the old man a lot, and though he offered no enticements, they would constantly rub up against his legs before darting back into the center of that dusty place. What do you mean this is what happens in Green Eggs and Ham? Anyway, Lude had been out very late with some woman he'd just met at the salon. It was just after 7 when he finally stumbled back into the courtyard and, despite a severe hangover, immediately saw what was missing. Lude frequently came home early and always found the old guy working his way around the perimeter of all those weeds, occasionally resting on a sun-beaten bench before taking another round. A single mother who got up every morning at 6 also noted Zampano's absence. She went off to work, Lude went off to bed, but when dusk came and their old neighbor had still not appeared, both Lude and the single mother went to alert Flays, the resident building manager. Flays is part Hispanic, part Samoan, a bit of a giant, you might say, 6'4", 245 pounds, virtually no body fat, body fat? Vandals, junkies, you name it. They get near the building and Flays will lunge at them like a pit bull raised in a crack house. And don't think he believes size and strength are invincible. If the interlopers are carrying, he'll show them his own gun collection, and he'll draw on them too, faster than Billy the Kid. But as soon as Lude voiced his suspicions about the old man, Pitbull and Billy the Kid... Pitbull? Oh. The dog. I was like, wasn't this book written in 1930? It's not capitalized. It's talking about the dog, not Mr. Worldwide. Pitbull and Billy the Kid went straight out the window. Flays suddenly couldn't find the keys. He started muttering about calling the owner of the building. After 20 minutes, Lude was so fed up with this hemming and hawing, he offered to handle the whole thing himself. Flays immediately found the keys and, with a big grin, plopped them into Lude's outstretched hand. Flays told me later he'd never seen a dead body before, and there was no question there would be a body. And that just didn't sit well with Flays. We knew what we'd find, he'd said. We knew that guy was dead. The police found Zampano just like Lude found him, lying face down on the floor. The paramedics said there was nothing unusual, just the way it goes, 80-some years in the inevitable kerplunk. The system goes down, lights blink out, and there you have it, another body on the floor surrounded by things that don't mean much to anyone, except to the one who couldn't take any of them along. Still, this was better than the prostitute the paramedics had seen earlier that day. Oh goodness. She had been torn to pieces in a hotel room, parts of her used to paint the walls and ceiling red. Compared to that, this almost seemed pleasant. Discussion question time. Scary shit. There's a killer on the loose. It's a horror book in here. I assume that there's going to be more frightening killings in this book. The whole process took a while. Police coming and going, paramedics attending to the body. For one thing, making sure the old man was actually dead. Neighbors and eventually even Flays poking their heads into gawk, wonder, or just graze on a scene that might someday resemble their own end. When it was finally over, it was very late. Lude stood alone in the apartment. The corpse gone, officials gone, even Flays. The neighbors and other assorted snoops, all gone. Not a soul in sight. 80 fucking years old, alone in that piss hole, Lude had told me later. I don't want to end up like that. No wife, no kids, no nobody at all. Not even one fucking friend. I must have laughed because Lude suddenly turned on me. Hey, Hoss, don't think young and squirting lots of cum guarantees you shit. Look at yourself. Working at a tattoo shop, falling for some stripper named Thumper. And he was sure right about one thing. Zampano had no family, no friends, and hardly a penny to his name. Stop. Discussion question. Stop talking about squirting. No further questions. The next day, the landlord had posted a piece of... What do you mean that's not a question? Why are you laughing? This is a serious book. This is a comedy stream. Okay? Listen. It's a scary book. It's got serious themes in it. Lou just talked about squirting, and I had to discipline my chat. Stop talking about the squirter. Oh my god. There's a beast on the loose and a serial killer so far. You don't even know about the beast yet. You just know there's a serial killer somewhere in this book, okay? But you guys are like, oh, fuck, let's talk about the squirter. What if we didn't? What if we had some respect to all the characters in this book who are about to suffer from the gas leak? I still think the killer's gonna be a gas leak at the end. I think they're gonna unmask, like, the Skinamarink, and it's gonna be a gas leak. Oh yeah, the cereal is so scary. Oh my god. Zampano is suck a dude. What? Suck typo in the chat. Everyone get his ass. Oh, I need to get an animation for drinking my water. Because otherwise it just sounds like I'm, like, psychically sunking something down with my mind. Check this shit out. You couldn't even tell, but I had a big sip of water right there. The next day, the landlord posted a notice of abandonment, and a week later, after declaring that the contents of the apartment were worth less than $300, he called some charity to haul the stuff away. That was the night Lude made his awful discovery, right before the boys from Goodwill, or wherever they came from, swept in with their gloves and hand trucks. When the phone rang, I was fast asleep. Anybody else I would have hung up on, but Lude's a good enough friend, I actually dragged my ass out of bed at the time. What the fuck was that noise? Was that a jump scare? Did the book make that noise? I actually dragged my ass out of bed at 3 in the morning and headed over to Franklin. He was waiting outside the gate with a wicked gleam in his eye. I should have turned around right then. I should have known something was up. At the very least, sensed the consequence lingering in the air, in the hour, in Lude's stare, in all of it, and fuck, I must have been some kind of moron to have been so oblivious to all those signs. The way Lude's keys rattled like bone chimes as he opened the main gate, the hinges suddenly shrieking as if we weren't entering a crowded building, but some ancient moss-eaten crypt. Or the way we padded down the dark hallway buried in shadows, lamps above hung with spangles of light that I swear now must have been a work of gray, primitive spiders. What? Or, probably most important of all, the way Lude whispered when he told me things. Things I couldn't give a damn about back then, but now, well, my nights would be a great deal shorter if I didn't have to remember them. Ever see yourself doing something in the past, and no matter how many times you remember it, you still want to scream, stop, somehow redirect the action, reorder the present? I feel that way now, watching myself tugged stupidly along by inertia, my own inquisitiveness or whatever else. And it must have been something else. Though exactly what, I have no clue. Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing's all a pretty meaningless combination of words. Nothing's all. but one I like just the same. It doesn't matter anyway. Whatever orders the path of all my yesterdays was strong enough that night to draw me past all those sleepers kept safely at bay from the living, locked behind their sturdy doors, until I stood at the end of the hail. At the end of the hail? What? That's what it says. Did I get a copy with typos, or is that normal? Can you say end of the hail? Are they saying hall? H-A-I-L. No, it's not hill. It says hail in my book. It says hall in mine. Sometimes he fucks up. There are intentional typos? What? I love that. I've heard one thing about every copy is, and I mean this one for real, every copy is personalized. So if I have a different edition, then I'm gonna have typos in different places. That's fucking fascinating. I'm already bad at reading. This book is about to kick my ass. They're going to kill me badly. This is House of Leaves, dumbass? I don't know anything about this book. Gaslighting book? Oh, that's fun. Eventually a character's just gonna like change the spelling of their name forever. That's gonna be awesome. Every copy has jump scares on different pages? Okay. I'm so totally down for that. Alright. That's fun. No, you're reading Metal Gear, actually? It says Hall in my book? WTF? That's hilarious. It's either a typo or it's a typo on person. Vile evil, your copy does not spell lewd as lube. You are lying. Please leave the chat room for 1 minute to punish yourself. This is a voluntary punishment. Your copy will just become completely Twitch TOS. There's just gonna be a penis page. Oh, hey, there is a penis page. Huh. Alright. I guess I don't actually have a discussion question. That was more of a, am I going insane? In my reality, James7T is known as Jamel Fix It? Why? I don't think I fix anything. There will be a page with every slur listed in order. Welcome to my final stream, everyone. Welcome to the last stream of James7T. Alright, now where the hell was I in this? I got so mixed up by Hall and Hail. Okay, there I am. I stood at the end of the hall, facing the last door on the left. An unremarkable door, too, but still a door to the dead. Lude, of course, had been unaware of the unsettling characteristics of our little journey to the back of the building. He had been recounting to me, in many ways, dwelling upon what had happened following the old man's death. "Two things, horse," Lude muttered as the gate glided open. "Not that they make much difference." And as far as I can tell, he was right. They have very little to do with what follows. I include them only because they're part of the history surrounding Zampano's death. Hopefully you'll be able to make sense of what I can represent, though still fail to understand. "The first peculiar thing," Lude told me, leading the way after around a short flight of stairs, "were the cats. Apparently, in the months preceding the old man's death, the cats had begun to disappear. By the time he died, they were all gone. I saw one with its head ripped off, and another with its guts strewn all over the sidewalk. Mostly, though, they just vanished. The second peculiar thing, you'll see for yourself," Lude said, lowering his voice even more, as we slipped past the room of what looked suspiciously like a coven of musicians. All of them listening intently to headphones, passing around a spliff. "Right next to the body," Lude continued, "I found these gouges in the hardwood floor, a good 6 or 7 inches long. Very weird. But since the old man showed no sign of physical trauma, the cops let it go." He stopped. We had reached the door. Now I shudder. Back then, I think I was elsewhere. More likely daydreaming about Thumper. This will probably really wig you out, I don't care, but One night, I even rented Bambi and got a hard-on. That's how bad I had it for her. Come on, man. Dude, Thumper was something else. And she sure beat the hell out of Clara English. Why is my dog barking at 1:40? Stop talking about sex book chat. Grow up. Move on. I was even thinking about what the two would look like in a cat fight. One thing's for sure, though. When I heard Lude turn the bolt on open Zampano's door, I lost sight of those dreams. He fucked that house? Hold on, discussion question. What do you mean he fucked that house? What do you mean he fucked that house? We can grow up and still be funny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the bits. House fucker? Okay. He fucked that house. What do you think it means? Whatever. Whatever. I'm mad at every chat member right now. Everyone, listen to me. Junji Ito, he fucked that. We are not reading Junji Ito's he fucked that house on stream. What first hit me was the smell. It wasn't a bad smell, just incredibly strong. And it wasn't one thing either. It was extremely layered, a patina upon progressive patina of odor, the actual source of which had long since evaporated. Back then it had overwhelmed me, so much of it cloying, bitter, rotten, even mean. These days I can no longer remember the smell, only my reaction to it. Still, if I had to give it a name, I think I would call it the scent of human history. A composite of sweat, urine, shit, blood, flesh, and semen, as well as joy, sorrow, jealousy, rage, vengeance, fear, love, hope, and a whole lot more. All of which probably sounds pretty ridiculous, especially since the abilities of my nose were not really relevant here. What's important, though, is that this smell was complex for a reason. All of the windows were nailed shut and sealed with caulking. The front entrance and courtyard doors all storm-proofed. Even the vents were covered with duct tape. That said, this peculiar effort to eliminate any ventilation in the tiny apartment did not culminate with bars on the windows or multiple locks on the doors. Zampano was not afraid of the outside world. As I've already pointed out, he walked around his courtyard and supposedly was even fearless enough to brave the LA public transportation system for an occasional trip to the beach, an adventure I've been afraid to make. My best guess now is that he sealed his apartment in an effort to retain the various emanations of his things and himself. Where his things were concerned, they ran the spectrum. Tattered furniture, unused candles, ancient shoes, these in particular looking sad and wounded. Ceramic bowls as well as glass jars and small wood boxes full of rivets, rubber bands, seashells, matches, peanut shells, 1,000 different kinds of elaborately shaped and colored buttons. One ancient beer stein held nothing more than discarded perfume bottles. As I discovered, the refrigerator wasn't empty, but there wasn't any food in it either. Zampano had crammed it full of strange pale books. Okay. I paused there. I paused there because the misspelling was incredible. Okay, so I've been saying Zampano, right? This one is Zalnpana. Zalnpana. Just a completely different name this time. That's awesome. Is this just his name now? Or does it change back again? What copy of the book do you have? I don't know. I'm on page 4 and I see a Zalmpana. I should go get mine. Wow. I didn't... okay. So, discussion question... What are we at? 4. We're at 4. Okay. So, discussion question 4 is that I was asked to read this, I think, because it's a meme book. Not for really the interest in the literature. I think I've been instructed to read this because it's popular online right now. I think. That, or I've been instructed to read this because someone is trying to cheat on their English course by having me dissect the book for them. And buddy, I'm gonna fail bad. Of course, all that's gone now. Long gone. The smell too. I'm left with only a few scattered mental snapshots. A battered Zippo lighter with patent pending printed on the bottom. The twining metal ridge looking a little like some tiny spiral staircase, winding down into the bulbous interior of a light socket. James, do you have a physical copy of this book? I paused there because I thought I was going to hiccup. I didn't. Sorry for not hiccuping. If the main character in this book develops hiccups in the middle of it, I think you got to ask to read the book because your reactions will be interesting. No, I think I'll have a very surface level understanding, or I'll get it all in one. Listen, until proven otherwise, my guess is still gas leak. Okay? So, as long as I don't hiccup, I'm going to continue. I'm going to start making up paragraphs in the middle of this, and I'm going to see who catches me. Looking a little like some tiny spiral staircase winding down into the bulbous interior of a light socket. And for some odd reason, what I remember most of all, a very old tube of chapstick with an amber-like resin, hard and cracked. Which still isn't entirely accurate, though don't be misled into thinking I'm not trying to be accurate. There were, I admit, other things I recall about his place. They just don't seem relevant now. To my eye, it was all just junk. Time having performed no economic alchemy there, which hardly mattered, as Lude hadn't called me over to root around in these particular, and to use one of the big words I would eventually learn in the ensuing months, deracinated details of Zampano's life. Deracinated? Deracinated? I hope that one isn't misspelled, because if it is, I literally don't know what word that is. Later on, there are typos with themes in it? That means all the typos have themes in them. That's scary. Sure enough, just as my friend had described on the floor, in fact, practically dead center, were the 4 marks. All of them longer than a hand, jagged bits of wood clawed up by something neither of us cared to imagine. But that's not what Lude wanted me to see either. He was pointing at something else which had hardly impressed me when I first glanced at its implaceable shape. Truth be told, I was still having a hard time taking my eyes off the scarred floor. I had even reached out to touch the protruding splinter. What did I know then? What do I know now? At least some of the horror I took away at 4 a.m, you now have before you, waiting for you like it waited for me that night. Only without these few covering pages. As I discover, there were reams and reams of it, endless snarls of words, sometimes twisting into meaning, sometimes into nothing at all, frequently breaking apart, always branching off into other pieces I'd come across later on old napkins, on the tattered edges of an envelope. Even once on the back of a postage stamp. Everything and anything but empty, each fragment completely covered with the creep of years and years of ink pronouncements, layered, crossed out, amended, handwritten, typed, legible, illegible, impenetrable, lucid, torn, strained, scotch-taped, some bits crisp and clean, others faded, burnt or folded and refolded so many times the creases have obliterated whole passages of God knows what. Sense? Truth? Deceit? A legacy of prophecy or lunacy or nothing of the kind. And in the end, achieving, designating, describing, recreating, find your own words. I have no more, or plenty more. But why? And all to tell what? Lude didn't need to have the answer. But somehow, he knew. I would. Maybe that's why we were friends, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did need the answer. He just knew he wasn't the one who could find it. Maybe that's the real reason we were friends. But that's probably wrong, too. Could you stop doing a YouTuber voice while reading literature? This is my talking voice. Go time yourself out for 8 minutes. James, what page are you on? 15. I think. I don't know what copy I have compared to yours. One thing's for sure. Even without touching it, both of us slowly began to feel its heaviness, sensed something horrifying in its proportions, its silence, its stillness. Even if it did seem to have been shoved almost carelessly to the side of the room. I think now if someone had been said to be careful, we would have. I know a moment came when I felt certain its resolute blackness was capable of anything. Maybe even of slashing out, tearing up the floor, murdering Zampano, murdering us, maybe even murdering you. And then the moment passed. Wonder, and the way the unimaginable is sometimes suggested by the inanimate, suddenly faded. The thing became only a thing. So I took it home. Discussion question time. What's the thing? Is it a fucking book? Did he find one of the cats from earlier? The puppy? Is he gonna smoke it in his damn bong? It's a movie? The squirter. The squirter. Okay. It's not the squirter. Did he take the house home? It's a movie review? A pile of papers that he later arranged into the House of Leaves book. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I wanted to see if anyone picked up on the fact that it was that. And nobody did. They all said it was the squirter. Yeah, it's the book. Does that mean him living in the house of John Carpenter fame? No, I think this is a different house. Squirter is good. I usually pick Bulbasaur. Okay, here's your discussion question. Discussion question 5, okay? Discussion question 5. If you were in the House of Leaves, what Pokemon are you taking with you? There's a correct answer here. There's a correct answer here. Hold on, I need to pin there. Okay, I needed to pin a message. Charmander, Genesect, Charizard. What? Okay, hold on. Thor, why would you take Charmander when Charizard is an option? Any Pokemon. Mewtwo? Okay, I guess Mewtwo is probably right. I'm not a Pokemon. You can't take me into the House of Leaves with you. Okay? For Valentine, that's really good. To blaze the leaves? Okay. Klefki, because that guy said... Oh, Klefki would be really good. Just unlock the damn door. House of Leave out of there. House of Go home. That's fucking good. That's a good one. I was gonna take Esper. Because Esper is a psychic Pokemon. If you have a ghost Pokemon, you're fucked. You've just added one more monster to the menagerie. I assume there's a menagerie of monsters. I kind of assume that Haas? Is that the guy who organized this? I assume that Haas is gonna have to fight a mummy, a Frankenstein, and maybe a Dracula, too. I changed my mind. I take Bulbslop. That's not a Pokemon. Hold on. Bulbslop is not a Pokemon. Hold on. Bulbslop. No, this isn't a Pokemon. I'm just getting results for Slop Bowl. Who's the mug? That's Catboy Biden. Yeah, Bulbslop is what you feed Bulbasaur. No, I was sorry. I was trying to find if that Bulbslop was just a misspelling of Bulbasaur. I think it is, but the author's intention is not clear. I'll take Regigigas. I would bring Catboy Biden into the House of Leaves. I don't think you can make actionable threats in my Twitch chat, Snowy. I think we have to ban you for 100 years now. I still think I'm right. I think my reasoning is solid about taking Esper. You don't want a damn ghost Pokemon. You want a psychic Pokemon. Because only a Pokemon who's smart is gonna break you out of the damn house of leaves. If you get a monster Pokemon, it's gonna turn on you. You need a Pokemon with a big brain, and I don't think they've made like a brain Pokemon. That would be scary. Esper is a ghost Pokemon? No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, hold on. Esper Pokemon type. Psychic type Pokemon introduced in Generation VI. There. Are you happy now? Megamind? Megamind's not a Pokemon, chat. Okay. Oh, that's scary. They're gonna talk about the house in this next... what's it called? Paragraph. That's how you know I'm good at reading this. I forget words like paragraph. Back then, well, it's way back then by now, you could have found me downing shots of whiskey at La Poubelle. Poubelle. I don't know. Poubelle? I'm gonna go with Poubelle. I'm gonna go with Poubelle. Hey, wait, is the word house blue in your copy? No, it's not. It's normal. Very strange. No, they're not getting drinks at the Pooble, Snowy. Shut up. Way then, by now, you could have found me downing shots of whiskey at La Poubelle. Did I say Poubelle? Did I say I'm going with Poubelle? I'm going with Poubelle. Annihilating my inner ear at Bar Deluxe or dining at Jones with some busty redhead I'd met at House of Blues. Is James 7T blue on your stream? Our conversation traversing wildly from clubs we knew well to clubs we'd like to know better. I sure as fuck wasn't bothered by Old Man Z's words. All those signs I just now finished telling you about quickly vanished in the light of subsequent days or had never been there to begin with, existing only in retrospect. At first, only curiosity drove me from one phrase to the next. Occasionally, a few days would pass before I'd pick up another mauled scrap, maybe even a week. But still, I returned for 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, grazing over the scenes, the names, small connections starting to form, minor patterns evolving in those spare slivers of time. I never read for more than an hour. We got 7 minutes, chat. Of course, curiosity killed the cat, and even if satisfaction supposedly brought it back, there's still that little problem with the man on the radio telling me more and more about some useless information. But I didn't care. I just turned the radio off. And then, one evening, I looked over at my clock and discovered 7 hours had passed. Lude had called, but I hadn't noticed the phone ring. I was more than a little surprised when I found his message on my answering machine. That wasn't the last time I lost sense of time, either. In fact, it began to happen more often. Dozens of hours just blinking by, lost in the twist of so many dangerous sentences. Slowly but surely, I grew more and more disoriented. Increasingly more detached from the world, something sad and awful straining around the edges of my mouth, surfacing in my eyes. I stopped going out at night. I stopped going out. Nothing could distract me. I felt like I was losing control. Something terrible was going to happen. Eventually, something terrible did happen. No one could reach me. Not Thumper, not even Lude. I nailed my windows shut, threw out the closet and bathroom doors, stormproofed everything in locks. Oh, yes. I bought plenty of locks. Chains, too, and a dozen measuring tapes, nailing all those straight to the floor and the walls. They looked suspiciously like lost metal rods or, from a different angle, the fragile ribs of some alien ship. However, unlike Zampano, this wasn't about smell. This was about space. I wanted a closed, involatile space, involate space, and most of all, immutable. At least the measuring tapes should have helped. They didn't. Nothing did. I just fixed myself some tea on the hot plate here. My stomach's gone. I can barely keep this honey milked up stuff down, but I need the warmth. I'm in a hotel now. My studio's history. A lot these days is history. I haven't even washed the blood off yet. Not all of it is mine, either. Still caked around my fingers, signs of it on my shirt. What's happened here? I keep asking myself. What have I done? What would you have done? I went straight for the guns and I loaded them and I tried to decide what to do with them. The obvious thing was to shoot something. After all, that's what guns are designed to do. Shoot something. But who? Or what? I didn't have a clue. There were people and cars outside my hotel window. Midnight people I didn't know. Midnight cars I've never seen before. I could have shot them. I could have shot them all. I threw up in my closet instead. Of course, I only have my own immeasurable stupidity to blame for winding up here. The old man left plenty of clues and warnings. I was the fool to disregard them. Or was it the reverse? Did I secretly enjoy them? At least I should have read some fucking inkling of what I was getting into when I read this note, written just one day before he died. That was the jump scare. The word died was the jump scare. Are you scared? Okay, thank you. You're all scared. This is actually time for discussion question 6. The font changes here. I think it's supposed to be a part of the scrap. No, stop screaming. Stop screaming. Stop yelling. Okay? Show the new font. It's just a serif font. We're going from sans serif to serif. Okay? Prove it, liar, liar. No, you know what? In the spirit of House of Leaves and the author's attempts to gaslight you, I'm gonna go ahead and retract my statement. The font doesn't change, chat. I won't tell you whether or not it does or not. Maybe it does change. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe your copy and my copy are different. Maybe that's just one difference. Or maybe they're the same. But that's not my problem. January 5th, 1997. Whoever finds and publishes this work shall be entitled to all proceeds. I ask only that my name take its rightful place. Perhaps you will even prosper if, however, you discover that readers are less than sympathetic and choose to dismiss this enterprise out of hand. Then I may suggest you drink plenty of wine and dance in the sheets of your wedding night. For whether you know it or not, now you truly are prosperous. They say truth stands the test of time. I can think of no greater comfort than knowing this document failed such a test. Which back then meant absolutely nothing to me. I sure as hell didn't pause to think that some lousy words were going to land me in a shitty hotel room saturated with the stink of my own vomit. After all, as fast as discovered, Zampano's entire project is about a film which doesn't even exist. You can look. I have. But no matter how long you search, you will never find the Navidson record. In theaters or video stores, furthermore, most of what's said by famous people has been made up. I tried contacting all of them. Those that took the time to respond told me they had never heard of Will Navidson, let alone Zampano. As for the books cited in the footnotes, a good portion of them are fictitious. For instance, Gavin Young's Shots in the Dark doesn't exist, nor does the works of Hubert Howe Bancroft, Volume XXVIII. On the other hand, virtually any dimwit can go to a library and find W.M. Lindsay and H.J. Thompson's Ancient Lore and Medieval Latin Glossaries. There really was a rebellion on the 1973 Skylab mission, but La Belle Nicoise et Le Beau Chien is made up as is, I assume, the bloody story of Kesta and Molino. I don't know how to pronounce any of this. Actually, XXVIII is 28. Discussion question. Is it 28? Oh, fuck. I guess there's a second jump scare happening. We have to wait this out, so you get scared. Now, I'm not sure what the jump scare was supposed to be that time. So discussion question 7 is, what was the jump scare there? Who knows? Add this to my own mistakes, and there's no doubt I'm responsible for plenty, as well as those errors Zampano made, which I failed to notice or correct, and you'll see why there's suddenly a whole lot here not to take too seriously. In retrospect, I also realize there are probably numerous people who would have been better qualified to handle this work. Scholars with PhDs from Ivy League schools and minds greater than any Alexandrian library or WorldNet. Problem is, those people were still in their universities, still on their net, and nowhere near Whitley when an old man without friends or family finally died. Discussion question 8. Am I paying my camera people minimum wage or less? Remember, take a good look at my setup and then make your... Why is everyone saying less? Why is everyone saying less? I would have assumed at least one of you would have gotten it wrong. Come on. I would have assumed one of you had faith in me. Whatever. We're reading a damn book. Zampano, as I've come to recognize now, was a very funny man, but his humor was that wry, desiccated kind, soldier's whispers. All their jokes subsurface, their laughter amounting to little more than a tick in the corner of the mouth, told as they wait together in their outpost, slowly realizing that help's not going to reach them in time, and come nightfall, no matter what they've done or what they try to say, slaughter will overrun them all. Carrion dawned for vultures. See, the irony is it makes no difference that the documentary at the heart of this book is fiction. Zampano knew, from the get-go, that what's real or isn't real doesn't matter here. The consequences are the same. I can suddenly imagine the cracked voice I never heard, lips barely creasing into a smile, eyes pinned on darkness. Irony? Irony can never be more than our personal... Maginot line. Oh no, that's a famous thing that I don't know, isn't it? I'm gonna get in trouble. That's a Pokemon? Maginot? No. It's gotta be French. There's so many French words in this damn book so far. The drawing of it, for the most part, purely arbitrary. It's not surprising that when it came to undermining his own work, the old man was superbly capable. False quotes or invented sources, however, all pale in comparison to his biggest joke. Zampano writes constantly about seeing what we see, how we see, and what, in turn, we can't see. Over and over again, in one form or another, he returns to the subject of light, space, shape, line, color, focus, tone, contrast, movement, rhythm, perspective, and composition. None of which is surprising considering Zampano's piece centers on a documentary film called The Navidson Record, made by a Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist who must somehow capture the most difficult subject of all, the sight of darkness itself. Odd, to say the least. Discussion question number 9 comes from Sergeant_Soppy, who says, "Why aren't you reading this faster? Have you absorbed anything about this book so far, James?" Yeah, the scary grabber's gonna get this dude and make him throw up. Or shoot people. I don't know. This is a gas leak book. The monster is a gas leak. It makes you do bad things. Or really good at posting. God, can you... The dude compiling this, right? Here's your damn discussion question. What if he made a Twitter thread instead, huh? Would that have saved him? Would that have saved him from the Skinamarink? Maybe you have a gas leak projector? Family Guy joke? Family Guy doesn't know what this book is. This book is called House of Leaves. Family Guy doesn't know what the House of Leaves is. Yes, it does. Shut up. If anyone links me to a Family Guy House of Leaves bit, I'm banning you instantly. Listen, this is my stream. I'm right in this world. I'm correct here. This is my space. Okay? This is my damn space. And I will not be told that I am wrong in it. Okay? Okay? Thank you. http peter.sex. Great. That's really good. At first, I figured Zampano was just a bleak old dude, the kind who makes Itchy and Scratchy look like Calvin and Hobbes. We just yelled about Family Guy for like a minute straight, and there's a fucking Simpsons reference right there. Why weren't you guys on my ass about the Simpsons, huh? You guys are mad at me. You guys are damn mad at me. Brian Griffin and Homer Simpson make out. Okay. We're gonna go back to reading the book now, okay? Everyone sit in your damn seats. His apartment, however, didn't come close to anything envisioned by Joel Peter Whitkin or what's routinely revealed on the news. Sure, his place was eclectic, but hardly grotesque or even that far out of the ordinary. Until, of course, you took a more careful look and realized, hey, why are all these candles unused? Why no clocks, not on the walls, not even on the corner of the dresser? And what's with these strange pale books, or the fact that there's hardly a goddamn bulb in the whole apartment, not even one in the refrigerator? Well, that, of course, was Zampano's greatest ironic gesture. Love of love written by the broken-hearted, love of life written by the dead, all this language of light, film, and photography, and he hadn't seen a thing since his mid-50s. He was blind as a bat. Almost half the books he owned were in Braille. Loudon and Flays both confirmed that over the years the old guy had numerous readers visiting him during the day. Some of these came from community centers, the Braille Institute, or were just volunteers from USC, UCLA, or Santa Monica College. No one I ever spoke with, however, claimed to know him well, though more than a few were willing to offer me their opinions. One student believed he was certifiably mad. Another actress, who had spent a summer reading to him, thought Zampano was a romantic. She had come over one morning and found him in a terrible way. At first, I assumed he was drunk, but the old guy never drank, not even a sip of wine. Didn't smoke either. He really lived a very austere life. Anyway, he wasn't drunk, just really depressed. He started crying and asked me to leave. I fixed him some tea. Tears don't frighten me. Later, he told me it was heart trouble. Just old heartache matters, he said. Whoever she was, she must have been really special. He never told me her name. As I eventually found out, Zampano had 7 names he would occasionally mention. Beatrice, Gabrielle, Anne-Marie, Dominique, Elaine, Isabel, and Claudine. He apparently only brought them up when he was disconsolate and, for whatever reason, dragged back into some dark, tangled time. At least there's something more realistic about 7 lovers than one mythological Helen. Even in his 80s, Zampano sought out the company of the opposite sex. Coincidence had had no hand in arranging for all his readers to be female. As he openly admitted, there is no greater comfort in my life than those soothing tones cradled in a woman's words. Except maybe his own words. Discussion question 10. I don't trust Zampano at this point. We've just read a lot about a delightful old author, and then wrote about how he surrounded himself with women, and I can't help but remember that no, Snowy, we're not interpreting this as a Zampano polycule. No. Everyone's saying he's a silly guy. Everyone's saying he's a funny old man. Who is Zam again? Zampano is the author of the mysterious book. The record of a film that doesn't exist, basically. Really good stuff so far. What's it called? I don't trust the fact that Zampano is dead now, and also there was, like, a dead woman in chapter... Not even chapter 1, the same chapter. This is still the introduction. I don't think he fucks, if memory serves. I still don't trust him. It doesn't matter if he fucks. I don't trust him. I mean, I guess he did probably invent the creature. Isn't it weird how piglets and triplets are so close words? Why do you think that is? You just wasted discussion question 11 on that. Online Beast, you realize that we can't take that. That's discussion question 11 now. Chat, why are piglets and triplets so close words? Why? They mean two completely different things. Do you ever think about it? That's true, this could be a Scott Pilgrim situation. Maybe Scott Pilgrim grew up and became Zampano. Maybe that's the, like, stealth sequel. Zampano versus the world coming soon. Pig used to mean baby, it's true. Check Snopes. James, can you stop reading the book and read some chat messages? No. I'm taking a drink break right now. I'm taking a big drink break? What? As a triplet, I can say it's because I was born a piglet and they had to scramble me to fix it? Okay. Me when I'm born a pig. We can see you reading ahead, eyeballed Greek? Oh, freak, but with a G. Oh. New way of being. I'm actually not reading ahead. I'm not processing any of this information. I'm getting multiple big drinks. That didn't feel good. Okay, now I'm gonna read ahead. Okay, now I'll read it to you. Does that sound good? Is that fine? Or are you mad at me? Skip to the end of the book now. Okay. And then Lude exploded, and he was on fire. But he did it. He stopped the Skinamarink. The end. Really sad shit. Well, thank you all for coming. This has been Skinamarink. -1. Spoilers? No, chat, that I didn't go anywhere. Lude doesn't fight the Skinamarink at the end. Lude does not fight the Skinamarink at the end, and it's fine. Where's the Doom Wad? What are you talking about? I didn't skip to the end. That was a lie. Chat. Guys. This is House of Leaves. The book's gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna lie to you, okay? This is training to understand how to spot liars, thieves, and stinkers in real life. Okay? Okay? Thank you. Zampano was, in essence, to use another big word, a graphomaniac. He scribbled until he died, and while he came close a few times, he never finished anything, especially the work he would unabashedly describe as either his masterpiece or his precious darling. Even the day before he failed to appear in that dusty courtyard, he was dictating long discursive passages, amending previously written pages, and restructuring an entire chapter. His mind never ceased branching out into new territories. The woman who saw him for the last time remarked that whatever it was, he could never quite address in himself prevented him from ever settling. I have to reread that one. Whatever it was he could never quite address in himself prevented him from ever settling. Death finally saw to that. With a little luck, you'll dismiss this labor, react as Zampano had hoped. Call it needlessly complicated, pointlessly obtuse, prolix your word, ridiculously conceived, and you'll believe all you've said. And then you'll put it aside, though, even here, just that one word, aside, makes me shudder. For what is ever really just put aside? And you'll carry on, eat, drink, be merry, and most of all, you'll sleep well. Then again, there's a good chance you won't. This much I'm certain of. It doesn't happen immediately. You'll finish, and that will be that. Until a moment will come, maybe in a month, maybe a year, maybe even several years. You'll be sick or feeling troubled or deeply in love or quietly uncertain or even content for the first time in your life. It won't matter. Out of the blue, beyond any cause you can trace, you'll suddenly realize things are not how you perceive them to be at all. Nene Supreme, why did you say come? We're stopping the whole damn book. Why'd you say that? Zampano didn't say it. Hoss didn't say it. Lude didn't say it either. What are you doing? This is book club. You can't bring crass words to book club. In my copy they did. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry then. Sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm sorry. I fucked it up. I fuck it up badly. You'll finish, and that will be that. Even a moment will come. Oh, that's COME, you dolt! Until a moment will come, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, maybe even several years. You'll be sick, or feeling troubled, or deeply in love, or quietly uncertain, or even content for the first time in your life. It won't matter. Out of the blue, beyond any case you can trace, you'll suddenly realize things are not how you perceive them to be at all. For some reason, you will no longer be the person you believed you once were. You'll detect slow and subtle shifts going on all around you. More importantly, shifts in you. Worse, you'll realize it's always been shifting. Like a shimmer of sorts, a vast shimmer, only dark, like a room. But you won't understand why or how. You'll have forgotten what granted you this awareness in the first place. Old shelters, television, magazines, movies won't protect you anymore. You might try scribbling in a journal, on a napkin, maybe even in the margins of this book. That's when you'll discover you no longer trust the very walls you always took for granted. Even the hallways you've walked 100 times will feel longer, much longer. And the shadows, any shadows at all, will suddenly seem deeper, much, much deeper. You might try then, as I did, to find a sky so full of stars it will blind you again. Only no sky can blind you now.
Even with all that iridescent magic up there, your eye will no longer linger on the light. It will no longer trace constellations. You'll only care about the darkness and you'll watch it for hours, for days, maybe even for years, trying in vain to believe you're some kind of indispensable, universe appointed sentinel. As if just by looking, you could actually keep it all at bay. And it will get so bad, you'll be afraid to look away. You'll be afraid to sleep. Then, no matter where you are, in a crowded restaurant, or some desolate street, or even in the comforts of your own home, you'll watch yourself dismantle every assurance you ever lived by. You'll stand aside as a great complexity intrudes, tearing apart, piece by piece, all of your carefully conceived denials, whether deliberate or unconscious. And then, for better or worse, you'll turn, unable to resist. Though, try to resist, you still will, fighting with everything you've got, not to face the thing you almost dread. What is now, what will be, what has always come before, the creature you truly are, the creature we all are, buried in the nameless black of a name. And then the nightmares will begin. Johnny Truant, October 31st, 1998. Hollywood, CA. The creature got him. So that guy's name is Johnny, not Hoss. Is the book over now? Yeah. It's done now. Hi, funny Tumblr user. No, that's not a... Welcome to the chat, but I'm afraid that's not a valid discussion question. Chat, we have now completed the introduction of... What's this book called? House of Leaves. It's called House of Leaves. That wasn't a bit. I forgot that. I feel like that's on brand. Discussion question. Is it appropriate and on theme to forget the name of the book you're reading? Jamie, your reading is so wonderfully serious and haunting and fruitful. Great job. Hey, thank you. Yes, no, yes, no. That's a problem. For you it is. Yeah, yes, yes. That's more yeses than no, which means it's okay to forget the name of the book that you're reading. At all times, not just now. It's in theme with every book, actually. It's on brand for the book, sure. Okay, discussion question. We just had 11. That was 12. Oh, I've got an idea. We're gonna skip question 13. Because, like a hotel, like an elevator in a hotel, that one's gonna be scary. So we're not doing question 13. Question 14. Is Hoss dead? John, I mean. I think he's dead by this point. I think the book ends, or I guess probably somewhere in the middle, right? Somebody else is gonna come along and say, hey, I found this book from John and I pieced it together. No, perhaps. Question 13, would you smoke a cat? No, I would smoke a puppy though. Prob's been dead the whole time. Well, okay, he wrote this in 1998. It's 2023. The last guy made it to 80. How old is John? Silly Jamie, he's gotta be alive because dead people don't suffer. So he's still in the Skinamarink house. He's like 27? Okay, so if he's 27 now, he could probably survive for another 20 years. Make it to like 55, 60. And then the Skinamarink gets him. Because they're... How did Zampano die? Like, we know it's the creature. We know it's the creature at this point, right? But how did he die? Funny that you keep calling him John? Is it John or Hoss? It's Johnny Truant. October 31, 1998, Hollywood, CA. Sorry for leaking his address. Because the Skinamarink hate 60-year-olds. That's not even true, Fierce Link. The Skinamarink hate babies. Haas is like, dude, it's a nickname. Johnny is 28 at this time. Is he 28 or 27? Are you talking... Wait, is he 28 now? Was he 7 when he wrote this? No, that's not true. I think this discussion is very in the spirit of the book. Yeah, chat's gaslighting me on his name. Somebody pointed out that Haas is just like a nickname for someone like dude. Like, you could call me Haas. I think Haas is a good gender-neutral replacement for dude. But I would probably be proven wrong if you went back and watched old movies where Haas was relevant. Because then you'd... Can you... Is it gender-neutral already? Are there old movies where they're like, hey, Haas, and it pans over and it's like a girl and she has a machine gun? I'm thinking of Alien again. I've got the power loader on my mind. I have no idea. Someone... Linguistics experts in the chat, reclaim Haas now, okay? Haas is basically a mispronunciation of horse. Okay. Haas is a guy nickname? Damn it. Well... I guess it's fine. You can call me Haas. I think it's gender neutral. But don't go around calling random people Haas, okay? Haas of Leaves? See, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. See, that's beautiful. Haas of Leaves. See, now that's everything. To everyone. Haas apparently mostly means, like, big guy. Oh, that's so cute to say to a little guy. Yeah, that's adorable. Moss of Leaves when I go out into nature. Horse of Leaves. Ah, I should have had Sanity here and we could, like, alternating read paragraphs. James is 1 foot 2 inches streamers. Uh-huh. I'm gonna... Oh, okay. Oh, this... Okay, I've looked ahead. The book begins, and the citations appear. Are you going to read the back of the book? Sapi, the book... That was the intro. God, it took us an hour and a half to get through the intro. Well, we'll see how far we get. If there's... Listen. If I get so sleepy... and I pass out on you, you'll know. My little sprite will just blow up. Okay? We're never finishing this book. To be fair, you read slow, can't read, and keep asking us stupid questions like how to pronounce words. Banned. Immediately. Moderators, kill. 3 hours to end chapter 1. Okay. Jam, are you gonna read the index? I don't know what that is. What's an index? That, like, tells you where things are in the book, right? I take these long pauses as an opportunity to sip my big water. It's convenient because you can't see me do it. So I just look like I'm staring at you, judgmentally. And don't worry, it is judgmental. It is. Jane, please ask more questions. I like the book club vibes. Oh, thank you. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not going to change the format whatsoever because of Online Beast. Online Beast is basically just saying those things to be like, how do I put this? An auto-generated hater? We have a few of those around here. See, a Twitch chat is sort of like an ecosystem. You have to have people who like you in it, and you have to have people who don't like you in it, right? Sapi's someone who doesn't like me. Online Beast is someone who doesn't like me. If they piss me off enough, I'll just throw them into a blender and blend them up really bigly. But it doesn't happen. And because we have haters already, no new ones show up. Man, shut up. What are you talking about, Candy? First time chat from Cotton Candy WLW. It says, please ban me forever. Wait, can I? Holy shit, I can delete your messages, Candy. That's cool as hell. I say things I say I'm not procedurally... Hey, Candy, I'm gonna delete your message again. That's cool as shit. I can do that twice in a row. I can straight up censor people. This is fucking awesome. Sicko? For 100 bits, the Lazy Thor says, do I like you, James? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. You wanted me to read a book club. You know how difficult reading is for me? Please don't forget me? Hornsby, how could I ever forget you? Timed out. Timed out. Also, for any VOD watchers seeing all the message deleted by moderators in chat, they're just saying the phrase. They're just saying the words, message deleted by moderator. Why are you deleting my messages? I'm making this shit run? Yeah. I'm trying to get you to make this shit run. Instead of... Hello? Oh. I guess Candy left. Guess Candy's on break. Okay. Not really my problem, I guess. Whatever. The Navidson record. I saw a film today. Oh boy. ... Quote of the Beatles. It says that in the book. While enthusiasts and detractors... It says Wi-Fi right here, and I'm not actually sure what it's supposed to say. While enthusiasts and detractors will continue to empty entire dictionaries... Okay, I'm gonna say it's will. Chat, what's your book say? Does it say will or Wi-Fi? Because mine says Wi-Fi. Kind of leaves and kind of house. Fuck a dad and then his spouse. That's pretty good, Online Beast. I like that a lot. It does say will. It says will. It says will. Mine says Wi-Fi. What the... Hold on. No. I don't need to prove this to you. Let's go. Screen share the book, please? No. Is this a bit? No, It doesn't matter. I told you I'd lie to you eventually. Maybe this is my lie. Maybe it's not. Who knows? While enthusiasts and detractors will continue to empty entire dictionaries attempting to describe or deride it, authenticity still remains the word most likely to stir a debate. In fact, this leading obsession to validate or invalidate the reels and tapes invariably brings up a collateral and more general concern. Whether or not, with the advent of digital technology, image has forsaken its once unimpeachable hold on the truth. Citation 1. A topic more carefully considered in Chapter IX. Wait, where's the first chapter? What? Where's the first citation? Hold on. I have to read through this and look to see if I missed a little, what's it called? Citation thing. 9? Why the number 9? Citation end of truth? Citation end of truth. Whoa. What the hell? What the hell? I can't fucking find it. Huh. IX equals 9. I'm not... Oh. IX equals 9. Oh, that's what you were explaining to me. No, I'm trying to figure out where this fucking citation is supposed to be. Unless that is a citation. I'm bad at... Listen. Listen. Okay. This is... Chat, I'm not talking about, like, the citation itself. I'm trying to figure out where the one is in reference to. This is House of Leaves. This is the main part of House of Leaves, is being confused. Okay? The main point of House of Leaves is being confused. It's about reading it and rereading it, and because this is an audio medium with a visual supplement, I have to navigate these two things, okay? Okay. That's the first citation you're fine. Yeah, but if I fuck it up twice in a row, they're gonna get my ass. They're gonna kill my ass in the quote retweets. Are they called quote posts now? That's fucked, dude. Okay. Scary shit. We're already getting your ass in Discord, James. It's okay. Scary sentence. Most people are confused by the story and formatting. You're confused with very clear direction. Roncosis, I didn't say that. I don't know how you think I said that. We're on the first paragraph. Well, we're about to be on the second damn paragraph, for the most part. Skeptics call the whole effort a hoax, but begrudgingly admit the Davidson record is a hoax of exceptional quality. Unfortunately, out of those who accept its validity, may tend to swear allegiance to tabloid UFO sightings. Clearly, it is not easy to appear credible when, after vouching for the film's verity, the discourse suddenly switches to why Elvis is still alive and probably wintering in the Florida Keys. 2. See David Bowler's The Resurrection on Ash Tree Lane, Elvis, Christmas Past, and Other Non-Entities, published in The House, New York, Little Brown, 1995, pages 167 to 244, in which he examines the inherent contradiction of many claim alleging resurrection, as well as the existence of that place. One thing remains certain. Any controversy surrounding Billy Meyer's film on flying saucers, 3, or for that matter, the Cottingley Fairies, Curlian photography, Ted Serios' thoughtography, or Alexander Gardner's photograph of the Union Dead, has been supplanted by the house on Ash Tree Lane. Though many continue to devote substantial time and energy to the antinomies of fact or fiction, representation or artifice, document or prank, as of late the more interesting material dwells exclusively on the interpretation of events within the film. This direction seems more promising, even if the house itself, like Melville's behemoth, remains resistant to summation. Much like its subject, the Davidson record is... Hold on. Okay, I'm fine. I felt like I had to hiccup again. And isn't that the scariest thing? When you're reading out loud and you think you have to hiccup? That's the fun thing. Some of the citations are real and some are fake and there's no difference in presentation. Oh, that's fun. I love liars. Liars are so awesome. I love lies. The hiccup was real and fake. Huh. That's a good idea. Okay, chat. One of the hiccups in the stream will be fake. Too many important things in the Davidson record jut out past the borders, where one might expect horror, the supernatural, or traditional paroxysms of dread and fear. One discovers disturbing sadness, a sequence on radioactive isotopes, or even laughter over a Simpsons episode. Simpsons sweep, that's the second damn reference of Simpsons. Simpsons sweep. Simpsons fucking sweep. Simpsons sweep, everyone. In the 17th century, English greatest topographer of worlds, satanic and divine, warned that hell was nothing less than regions of sorrow, doleful shades, where peace and rest can never dwell, hope never comes, that comes to all. Thus echoing the words copied down by hell's most famous tourist, Denanzi Minon Floyer Coscrete. Oh, this is Latin, I think. Listen, everyone. I mispronounce a lot of words. I don't think I'm gonna try the Latin. Do the Homer voice. No. What is the Homer voice? We're not doing the damn Homer voice. Every hiccup is a reference to The Simpsons, who did it first. Aw. Olive Cow 9056. I'm sorry for not doing the Latin. Online Beast, I'm sorry for not doing the Homer voice. I'm not doing the Homer in agony thing. I'll paste it here. It just says, oh cool, Violeval reading along Happies and dancing. 4. That first bit comes from Milton's Paradise Lost, Book 1, lines 65 to 67. The second from Dante's Inferno, Canto 3, lines 7 to 9. In 1939, some guy named John D. Sinclair from the Oxford University Press translated the Italian as follows. Before me nothing was created but eternal things, and I endure eternally. Abandon every hope, ye that enter. What do you mean, no wonder James didn't recognize it? What do you mean? What? Why would I not recognize Italian over any other language. This is probably the first book James read in years? Sabi, don't upvote that. This is at least the second or third book I've read in years. Because it was from Dante's Inferno. I haven't read Dante's Inferno! Okay? What? Very iconic text. Yeah, I'm with Vile Evil. Dante's nuts. That was the joke, yeah. Moderators, do something about this. Moderators, listen. They're being mean to me. Being mean to me in chat. Someone get rid of them. LOL? Yeah, whatever. You've played Halo 3 ODST, it's the same thing. See, if I was reading a Halo book, this wouldn't be nearly as difficult. They should make a Halo book in the style of House of Leaves. Imagine all the cool adventures Master Chief get up to in the House of Leaves. Dude, he would dual wield in it. Question 15. If Master Chief in the House of Leaves, would he find 2 weapons to dual wield with? Or would he be stuck with 1? What do you think? Even today, many people still feel the Navidson record, in spite of all its existential refinements and contemporary illusions, continues to reflect those exact sentiments. In fact, a few eager intellectuals have already begun to treat the film as a warning in and of itself, perfectly suited for hanging whole above the gates of such schools as architectonics, Popemo, consequentialism, neoplasticism, phenomenology, information theory, Marxism, biosemiotics, to say nothing of psychology, medicine. There's a citation at the end of citation 4? Oh, 5. Yeah, there's a citation there. In an effort to limit confusion, Miss Truant's footnotes will appear in courier font while Zapruna's will appear in Times. We also wish to note here that we have never actually met Mr. Truant. All matters regarding the publication were addressed in letters or in rare— Wait, Mr. Truant, that's John. Oh, shit. Hold on, I want to reread this. In an effort to limit confusion, Miss Truant's will appear in courier font, and Zampano's will appear in Times. Okay, we wish to note here that we never actually met Mr. Truant. All matters regarding the publication were addressed in letters or in rare instances over the phone. Interesting. Okay. So John exists. Good to know. So John exists and he's somewhere. It's interesting. Huh. Okay. Lol, Zampano never met Johnny? Well, we know that. Zampano died before meeting Johnny. We know this. He doesn't want to leave his house. If that was the author's intention, that's kind of awesome. Okay, now I have to get to the end of this list of things. Where are you? Okay. To say nothing of psychology, medicine, New Age spirituality, art, or even neo-minimalism. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. I need to look up neo-minimalism. Neo-minimalism art. Images. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Chat, I'm gonna... Where the... Eh? Whatever. No, you're not even... Google neo-minimalism on your own time. It's fun. It's like modern art. It's the epitome of modern art. James take an English test now, okay? What the fuck? Exclamation point dual Zampano 100. Should have spent 200, bro. You are fucked. You are fucked. You are neo-minimalism? That was me staring at Soppy in silence. Neo-minimalism is like Pinterest tattoo search results? Aw. I liked it. You know what? Fuck you, chat. I'm getting a neo-minimalist Pinterest tattoo. And you can't stop me. No, I can't even think of what type of neo-minimalist tattoo I would want. Maybe one of my cat. Whoa, an abstract cat would be fun. But specifically abstract. If I make it too obvious what it is. It's not really. Take a sip from that awesome mug. I don't have a mug. Sorry for not having a mug. You couldn't get a tattoo, you would scream in pain. Okay. Let's go back to reading the book. James, take a sip from the sink. Can I read? Please? Begging. I have to find where I was in this damn list. No, I got right to neo-minimalism, then I stopped because I was instantly engaged with neo-minimalism. Will Davidson, however, remains stalwart in his insistence that his documentary should be taken literally. As he himself says, all this, don't take it as anything else but this. And if one day you find yourself passing by that house, don't stop, don't slow down, just keep going. There's nothing there. Beware. Considering how the film ends, it is not surprising that more than a handful of people have decided to heed his advice. The Davidson record did not first appear as it does today. Nearly 7 years ago, what surfaced was the 5.5-minute hallway, a 5.5-minute optical illusion barely exceeding the abilities of any NYU film school graduate. The problem, of course, was the accompanying statement that claimed all of it was true. Discussion question 16. How do I say house in a blue style? In one continuous shot, Davidson, whom we never actually see, momentarily focuses on a doorway on the north wall of his living room before climbing outside of the house through a window to the east of that door, where he trips slightly in the flower bed, redirects the camera from the ground to the exterior white clapboard, then moves right, crawling back inside the house through a second window, this time to the west of the door, where we hear him grunt slightly as he knocks his head on the sill, eliciting light laughter from those in the room, presumably Karen, his brother Tom, and his friend Billy Retson. Though, like Davidson, they too never appear on the camera. Before finally returning us to the starting point, thus completely circling the doorway, and so proving, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that insulation or siding is the only possible thing this doorway could lead to. Which is when all the laughter stops, as Davidson's hand appears in frame and pulls open the door, revealing a narrow black hallway, at least 10 feet long, prompting Davidson to reinvestigate, once again leading us on another circumambulation of this strange passageway, climbing in and out of the windows, pointing the camera to where the hallway should extend, but finding nothing more than his own backyard. No 10-foot protuberance, just rose bushes, a muddy dart gun, and the translucent summer air. In essence, an exercise in disbelief, which, despite his best intentions, still takes Davidson's back inside to that impossible hallway. Until, as the camera begins to move closer, threatening this time to actually enter it, Karen snaps. "Don't you dare go in there again, Navy." To which Tom adds, "Yeah, not such a hot idea." Thus arresting Davidson at the threshold, though he still puts his hand inside, finally retracting and expecting it, as if by seeing alone there might be something more to feel. Isn't this a choose-your-own-adventure book? Where is the part where you choose to leave? That was the end of the foreword, Soppy. He literally said, put the damn book down. And you didn't. You didn't click off the... Oh, you did click off the... If you didn't know that, you did click off the stream. You went and did something else. You choose your damn adventure. Don't complain at me. Hold on. I lost my space. Fuck, dude. I'm lost in the House of Damn Leaves. Where the fuck was I? Chat, I'm lost in that House of Damn Leaves now. Get out of the forest, Stinky? What the fuck? Life is like a choose your own adventure. You can leave the House of Streams. That's how they get you. Huh. Dope as fuck. As if by seeing alone, there might be something more to feel. Reston wanting to know if, in fact, his friend does sense something different, and Navidson providing the matter-of-fact answer, which also serves as the conclusion, however abrupt, to this bizarre short. It's freezing in there. Dissemination of the 5.5-minute hallway seemed driven by curiosity alone. No one ever officially distributed it, and so it never appeared in film festivals or commercial film circles. Rather, VHS copies were passed around by hand, a series of progressively degenerating dubs of home video revealing a truly bizarre house with notably very few details about the owners, or, for the matter, the author of the piece. Less than a year later, another short surfaced. It was even more hotly sought after than the 5.5-minute hallway, and resulted in some fervent quests for Navidson and the house itself, all of which, for one reason or another, failed. Unlike the first, this short was not a continuous shot, prompting many to speculate that the 8 minutes making up exploration number 4 were in fact bits of a much larger whole. The structure of exploration number 4 is highly discontinuous, jarring, and, as evidenced by many poor edits, even hurried. Chat. WHOLE. Whole. A much larger whole. As in, parts of something make up a whole. But shut up, Soppy. You don't even know, man. You don't even know. The structure of exploration number... Wait. Fuck. Hold on. Where the hell was I? Whatever. The structure of you fucked this up, Soppy. You fucked this up. Making up a hole? Stop it. Stop. They're getting my ass in the quote retweets. There actually is a massive hole in this book? You gotta wait? Shut up! The structure of exploration number 4 is highly discontinuous, jarring, and, as evidenced by many poor edits, even hurried. The first shot catches Navidson mid-phrase. He is tired, depressed, and pale. Days, I think, and I don't know. Drink of something. Unclear what. I'd like to burn it down. Can't think clearly enough to do it, though. Laughter. And now, this. The next shot jumps to Karen and Tom arguing over whether or not to go in after him. At this point, it remains unclear to whom they are referring. There are several more shots. Trees in the winter, blood on the kitchen floor. One shot of a child, Daisy, crying. Then back to Navidson. Nothing but this tape, which I've seen enough times. It's more like a memory than anything else, and I still don't know. Was he right? Or just out of his mind? Followed by 3 more shots. Dark hallways. Windowless rooms. Stairs. Then a new voice. I'm lost. Out of food. Low on water. No sense of direction. Oh god. The speaker is a bearded, broad-shouldered man with frantic eyes. He speaks rapidly and appears short on breath. Holloway Roberts. Born in Menominee, Wisconsin. Bachelor's from you. Mass. There's something here. It's following me. No, it's stalking me. I've been stalked by it for days, but for some reason it's not attacking. It's waiting. Waiting for something. I don't know what. Holloway Roberts. Menominee, Wisconsin. I'm not alone here. I'm not alone. Thus bringing to an end this strange abstract, which, as the release of the Davidson record revealed, was sparingly incomplete. Then, for 2 years, nothing. Few clues about who any of these people were, though eventually a number of photographers in the news community did recognize the author as none other than Will Davidson, the prize-winning photojournalist who won the Pulitzer for his picture of a dying girl in Sudan. Unfortunately, this discovery only generated a few months of heated speculation before, in the absence of press, corroboration, the location of the house, or for that matter any comment by Davidson himself, interest died out. Most people just wrote it off as some kind of weird hoax because of the unusual conceit, an aberrant UFO sighting. Nevertheless, the deteriorating dubs did circulate, and in some trendy academic circles, a debate began. Was the subject a haunted house? What did Holloway mean by lost? How could anyone be lost in a house for days? Furthermore, what was someone with Davidson's credentials doing creating 2 strange shorts like this? And again, was this artifice? Or reality? Certainly a good deal of the debate was sustained by a bit of old-fashioned cultural elitism. People talked about the Davidson pieces because they were lucky enough to have seen them. Lee Sinclair suspects the majority of professors, students, Soho artists, and avant-garde filmmakers who spoke and even wrote so knowingly about the tapes more than likely had never even viewed one frame. There just weren't that many copies available. 6. Lee Sinclair's Degenerate, in 12th Century Dub edited by Tony Rock. New York, CCD, Zuexis Press, 1994, page 57 to 91. While the 5.5-minute hallway and exploration number 4 have been respectively called a teaser and a trailer, they are also, in their own right, peculiar cinematic moments. On a purely symbolic level, they afford a vast potential for examination. The compression of space, the power of the imagination to decompress that space, the house as trope for the unlimited and the unknowable, etc., etc. On a strictly visceral level, they provide ample shocks and curiosities. However, the most unnerving aspect about both pieces is their ability to convince us that everything really happened, some of which can be attributed to the verifiable elements, Holloway Roberts, Will Davidson et al., but most of which can be chalked up to the starkness of the production, the absence of makeup, expensive soundtracks, or crane shots, except for framing, editing, and in some cases subtitles. 7. Arguably interpretive, especially in the case of Holloway's garbled patter, where even the subtitles appear as incomprehensible onomatopoeia or just question marks. There is virtually no room for creative intrusion. Who would have suspected that almost 3 years after the 5.5-minute hallway began appearing on VHS, Miramax would quietly release the Davidson record in a limited run and almost immediately unsettle audiences everywhere. Since the opening 3 years ago, last April 8, i.e. 1993, in New York and Los Angeles, the Davidson record has been screened nationwide. It's really funny how much of that you can just tune out. What, of the book? The entire thing? And while hardly a blockbuster, the film continues to generate revenues as well as interest. Film periodicals frequently publish reviews, critiques, and letters. Books devoted entirely to the Davidson record now appear with some regularity. Numerous professors have made the Davidson record required viewing for their seminars, while many universities already claim that dozens of students from a variety of departments have completed doctoral dissertations on the film. Comments and references frequently appear in Harper's, The New Yorker, Esquire, American Heritage, Vanity Fair, Spin, as well as on late-night television. Interest abroad is equally intense. Japan, France, and Norway have all responded with awards, but to this day, the spectral Davidson has yet to appear, let alone accept any one of these. Even... Uh-oh. Chat, there's a word. Even the... Oh, fuck. I don't know if this is a typo. Yeah, whatever. The stinking readlet. Shut up. I need help. Garrulous. Is that a damn typo? Is there something fucked with this word? It's a real word? Yeah, but that's coming from you, Soppy. Are you telling the truth? Give me a second. What parge? 29. Garrulous. Yeah, that's the word, Trimbus. What the hell is that? I love that word. How do you love that word? Garrulous. Okay, that's fair. Never have I heard you so fully utilize your soothing twink voice, and it's frightening me. Excessively talkative. Okay. Especially on trivial matters. Okay. Kit Fisto, shut the fuck up. I saw that. I saw that. I tuned into a stream right before this. It was, Sophie Baby's stream. And it was... it was a media share stream. And the poor woman, she just got Carcolicious donated for a significant amount of money, I believe, because she had to listen to the whole damn thing. Ah. I look like I'm making eye contact with you. No further comment. Okay, this was silent reading time. Is everyone caught up now? Sorry, I feel like my throat's on fire. I haven't talked this long since last week when I streamed. Let me see. Where the... Oh, I was on the word garrulous. Garrulous? Gug. Beautiful word of gug. My beautiful baby word of gug. I love it here. I'm dinking as much fucking oiter as I can. Even the garrulous Weinstein brothers remain unusually reticent about the film and its creator. Interview magazine quoted Harvey Weinstein. He's saying, "It is what it is." 9. Mirjana Gorchakova's Homefront in Gentleman's Quarterly, V65, October 1995, page 224. Hold on. Message deleted by moderators. James, you're reading the most boring book in human history. That's my question. Is it anything to read all these damn citation things? Message deleted by a viewer. Okay. Hey, someone kill Hornsby? Oh, fuck, good point. I just barely missed him. Okay, he's blasted now. Message deleted by moderator. Okay, you're all deleting your own damn messages, and you know it. Okay. Should I read the damn things? Keep doing it. It is important for real. Message deleted. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading them, but is it important to read them out loud? What's it called? Kinda? Okay. Message deleted by some gay idiot. Hold on. There we go. I got you. Seriously, you're asking if the text in the book is important? I get this. You live in my world, Online Beast, and you're gone. And you are fucked, my friend. You are fucked, my friend. Message beloved by streamer. Message pinned for all to see forever. For fucking ever, Snowy. 100 years of happy. There are long Johnny Trot citations with important info. Okay. I'm just talking about these damn numbers and shit. Because I feel my eyes glazing over these. Listen, if I wasn't reading this out loud, I wouldn't know what years this shit happened. I probably wouldn't have picked up on the fact that this is a 90s story. Oh shit. Do you think that they're gonna make like a retro version of this? Right? Like, do you think it's gonna be like, they're gonna do like a Stranger Things and come out with like a Netflix series based on House of Leaves, and it's gonna be like Johnny goes to the arcade and it's Arcade of Leaves? Right? What? You would rather be watching Family Guy than reading, huh? Sicko. Soppy, when did I talk about Family Guy? That was once. Like 2 hours ago, dude. Like, oh, literally almost 2 hours ago. And you're the one bringing it up. Dude, you are fucked. Dude, you are fucked, man. Violence in bookies. Yeah, honestly. They're gonna not let me live on fucking Book Talk. I'm gonna show up with a clip of me reading House of Leaves. It's gonna be like this. And they're gonna be like, damn, bitch, you're not reading the citations. You're thinking about Family Guy. Fuck. Okay, well, I want to keep reading the book now, so you all can keep arguing with me about whether I should read letters, or you can read with me. The Davidson record now stands as part of the country's cultural experience, and yet in... What? It's fucking Johnny True Aunt, not Trant or whoever. What? Yeah, True Aunt. Yeah, that's what I said, man. Who pinned that? Rob, why'd you pin that? I've never said Johnny Trout. What? No, hold on. Why is that message pinned? I've been pronouncing his name right. Johnny Truant. I've literally been saying that. VOD watchers, they're lying. What are you... No! Rob pinned the message. It's fucking Johnny Truant, not Trant or whoever. I haven't said Trant. You've absolutely been saying Trant. Delete message. Jame, you're lying. Delete message. You've been saying Trant. Delete message. Unreliable narrator streamer. Okay, VOD watchers, skip the part of the VOD where I just deleted all the people correcting me and correctly pointing out that I was saying it wrong. Message deleted by a squeaking streamer. Can I read my fucking game about Johnny Truant? The Davidson record now stands as part of this country's cultural experience, and yet in spite of the fact that hundreds of thousands of people have seen it, the film continues to remain an enigma. Some insist it must be true, others believe it is a trick on par with the Orson Welles radio romp, The War of the Worlds. Others could care less, admitting that, either way, the Davidson record is a pretty good tale. Still, many more have never even heard of it. These days, with the unlikely prospect of any sort of post-release resolution or revelation, Davidson's film seems destined to achieve, at most, cult status. Good storytelling alone will guarantee a healthy sliver of popularity in the years to come, but its inherent strangeness will permanently bar it from any mainstream interest. And that's the end of Chapter 1. Wait until Johnny's segments? That's the end of the chapter. That's the end of the book. No, it's not. No, it literally is. The chapter ends there. Chapter 2 is 11 pages in my copy. This is me looking. Yeah, I'm not muted. Shut up. I'm not fucking muted. I'm not falling for this again. Holy shit. Shame, make your eyes do funny tricks, okay? No. You're not tricking my ass, okay? Anyone else got their shut up. You probably haven't even opened... How would I... Soppy, would I have made all of this up? The only lie I could tell, in this entire stream was... I'm trying to think of it. Oh, yeah, Lude had a power loader, and he blew up the Skinamarink at the end. That was all I could fucking think of. You think I made all that up? No, you don't. You don't think I made all that up. You're being facetious for no reason. And I don't know why. Your argument for why you couldn't make it up is that you're not intelligent? Okay, onlinebeast.com. I agree with Soppy. You're so toxic. TW on reality. Yeah, I'm gonna add that now. I'm gonna add that now after they've talked about all the ghosts and shit. Everything up till now, that was all real. Past this point, everyone, it's just book. You're taking my words out of context? No. +1 ghost. I think... Okay, hold on. I want to do some quick math and see if I can, How many... What are they called? Pages, I think. Okay. Okay, in my book, Chapter 2 is slightly more than 11 pages. Whee! Whee! James just made up messages from Sophie to make them look bad? Okay, that one actually, I would do that. You literally can't count? I can count 30. I can count 30 plus 11. 30 plus 11 is 41. The first 3 chapters are like 10-ish, and then number 4 is like 30. Okay. Well, then we might as well read chapter 2. How many fingers am I holding up? That's not my damn problem. You're holding up 12 fingers. Hand-named finger, shut up. The Davidson record actually... Oh, shit, there's a quote at the top of this chapter. Okay, it starts with the number 2. But in italics. Wait, not italics, I mean Roman numerals. It's 2 eyes. The labors of men of genius, however, erroneously directed, scarcely ever fail and ultimately turn... That one was almost a hiccup. Scarcely ever fail in ultimately turning to the solid advantage of mankind. From Mary Shelley. Thank you, I am good at reading. The James Sevenison record? Fuck, jot that down as the next stream. The Davidson record actually contains 2 films. The one Davidson made, which everyone remembers, and the one he set out to make, which very few people ever detect. While easily overshadowed by the finished film, the filmmaker's original intentions provide an early context in which to view the peculiar properties of the house later on. In many ways, the opening of the Davidson record, shot back in April of 1990, remains one of the more disturbing sequences because it so effectively denies itself even the slightest premonition about what will soon take place on Ash Tree Lane. Not once during those initial minutes does Davidson indicate he knows anything about the impending nightmare he and his family are about to face. He is wholly innocent, and the nature of the house, at least for a little while, lies beyond his imagination, let alone his suspicions. Of course, not everyone remains in accordance with this assessment. Dr. Isaiah Rosen believes Davidson's a fraud from frame 1, and his early posturing puts the entire work at risk. 10. Isaiah Rosen, Ph.D. Flawed Performances, a consideration of the actors in the Davidson opus. Baltimore, Eddie Hapax Press, 1995, page 73. Rosen assumes the beginning is just a case of bad acting performed by a man who has already envisioned the rest of the film. What the fuck? What the hell? My OBS just fucking turned off and then turned back on. It didn't, but my fucking little view screen vanished for a second. That was fucked. Dude, is the Skinamarink gonna fucking kill me? Discussion question. Is the Skinamarink gonna fucking kill me? I'm getting some fucking thirsty. I mean, I am getting thirsty. I'm getting some fucking thirsty. Christ, dude. Yeah, you're fucked? Yeah, man. Jamie, you're in the hallway? Oh, fuck. Oh, bug. What the fuck is Skinamarink? Dude. If you like House of Leaves and want to see House of Leaves... I get it's not really as a movie. Listen, if you want to see House of Leaves... Now, what's the better way to phrase it? Skinamarink is a great companion piece to House of Leaves. That's the intelligent way to phrase it. What the fuck is House of Leaves? It's a book. It's a damn book and it's scary. If you don't know what either are, then get scared, because a ghost is gonna get you.
Correct streamer. Thank you. What the fuck is James 7T? It's a good house from based horror. Fuck, dude. It's a good house-based horror movie. See, everyone else can say things in a normal way. I always have to, like, put an extra sentence in the middle of my damn sentence. You're always fucking wrong, and it's never close. Dude, check this out. Banned forever. He's gone now, chat. Bonus thought. Oh yeah, it is. Hey, +5, Punch Bunny. Rob, don't remove timeout on Hornsby. What are you doing? Is this because I censored you earlier? It's Hornsby. Why are you taking his side? Killed and sent to the house. Shut the fuck up, Hornsby. I'm timing you out again. Consider this your, House of Leaves. You're trapped in it. Baphopup, I didn't delete your message. Undelete your damn message now. You gotta hold my hand? Okay, Rob. Hold on. I can't move my hands very far. You have to drive to my house, and then come hold my hand, okay? That's it. You're getting the Davidson divorce. Alright. Where the fuck was I? I was at the part where they were lying about books and shit. Rosen assumes the beginning is just a case of bad acting, performed by a man who has already envisioned the rest of the film. Consequently, Rosen seriously undervalues the importance of Davidson's initial intentions. All too often, major discoveries are the unintended outcome of experiments or explorations aimed at achieving entirely different results. In Davidson's case, it is impossible to disregard his primary goal, especially since it has served as progenitor, or at the very least, the near origin to all that followed. Rosen's presumptions, 11, not the first and definitely not the last this time, Zampano implies that the Davidson record exists, lead him to dismiss the cause for the result, thereby losing sight of the complex and rewarding relationship which exists in the two. It's funny, Davidson tells us at the outset. I just want to create a record of how Karen and I bought a small house in the country and moved into it with our children. Sort of see how everything turns out. No gunfire, famine, or flies. Just lots of toothpaste, gardening, and people stuff. Which is how I got the Guggenheim Fellowship and the NEA Media Arts Grant. Maybe because of my past, they're expecting something different. But I just thought it would be nice to see how people move into a place and start to inhabit it. Settle in, maybe put down roots, interact, hopefully understand each other a little better. Personally, I just want to create a cozy little outpost for me and my family. A place to drink lemonade on the porch and watch the sunset. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, fucking Guggenheim actually made me pause for a moment. I was like, is chat gonna think I made up Guggenheim? Because I'm gonna make up something. I'm gonna lie to you with it at some point. I promise. Don't worry. As is, theme with the book. Maybe I've already lied already. Maybe I've skipped something important. Who knows? A place to drink lemonade on the porch and watch the sunset, which is almost literally how the Davidson record begins, with Will Davidson relaxing on the porch of his small, old-style heritage house, enjoying a glass of lemonade, watching the sun turn the first few minutes of daytime into gold. Despite Rosen's claim, nothing about him seems particularly devious or false. Nor does he appear to be acting. In fact, he is a disarmingly pleasant man, lean, attractive, slowly edging through his 40s, 12. In his article Years of Those in the New Republic, V213, November 20th, 1995, pages 33 through 39, Helmut Kehrenschrosch puts Davidson's age at 48. Determined once and for all to stay in and explore the quieter side of life.
At least, initially he succeeds, chat stopped talking about edging, providing us with the pristine glimpses of the Virginia countryside, the rural neighborhood, Purple Hills born on the fringe of night, before moving past these establishing shots, and focusing more closely on the process of moving into the house itself. The baleful weapon, the Googer, named for its creator, Guggenheim. Can you skip this part? I'm sorry, are you... what? Soppy, are you scared of establishing shots? This isn't where the scary part happens, dude. That's coming soon. Probably. Okay, we're not talking about that online beast. What? What do you mean there's lore for that message, Roncosis? Okay, we're playing the game now. Chat, stop distracting me. We're playing the game, okay? At least... wait, yeah, I already read all that. Before moving past these establishing shots and focusing more closely on the process of moving into the house itself. Sorry, the house itself. Unrolling pale blue oriental rugs, arranging and rearranging furniture, unpacking crates, replacing light bulbs, and hanging pictures, including one of his own prize-winning photographs. In this way, Davidson not only reveals how much each room is occupied, but how everyone has helped apply his or her own personal texture. At one point, Davidson takes a break to interview his two children. These shots are also impeccably composed. Son and daughter bathed in sunlight, their warmly lit faces framed against a cool backdrop of green lawn and trees. His 5-year-old daughter Daisy approves of their new house. "It's nice here," she giggles shyly, though she is not too shy to point out the absence of stores like Bloomingdale's. Chad, who is 3 years older than Daisy, is a little more self-conscious, even serious. Too often his response has been misread by those aware of the film's ending. It is important to realize, however, that at this point in time, Chad has no sense of what the future holds. He's merely expressing anxieties natural for a boy his age who has just been uprooted from his home in the city and deposited in a vastly different environment. As he tells his father, what he misses most is the sound of traffic. It seems the noise made by trucks and taxicabs created for him a kind of evening lullaby. Now he finds it difficult to fall asleep in the quiet. "What about the sound of crickets?" Davidson asks. Chad shakes his head. "It's not the same. I don't know. Sometimes it's just silent. No sound at all." "Does that scare you?" Chad nods. "Why?" asks his father. "It's like something's waiting." "What?" Chad shrugs. "I don't know, Daddy. I just like the sound of traffic." 13. The question of lengthy narrative descriptions in what is purportedly a critical exegesis is addressed in Chapter 5, footnote 67. Of course, Davidson's pastoral take on his family's move hardly reflects the more complicated and significant impetus behind this project. Namely, his foundering relationship with longtime companion Karen Green. While both have been perfectly content not to many... What? No, good question. Hi, Sanity. Foundering doesn't sound right. Foundering's not a word. Chat, is foundering a word? What? What? It's not. Okay, so that's a typo in the book. Yes, you're just bad? Shut up, Soppy. It's not a skill. I think there may have been a reading... No, Sanity, listen. I don't know if you missed this, but this is House of Leaves. It has typos on purpose. Oh my god, it's missing the L. It's missing the L because he took it. That's why. It's missing the L because he took it. He took the L, and he's gonna be a failed divorce guy. That's the hint. That's the hint. Foundering in my copy? See? Yeah, he is like one of those, Sanity. Namely his floundering relationship with longtime companion, Karen Green. While both have been perfectly content not to marry... Oh! I actually misread that. It says not to many. That's absolutely supposed to be not to marry. So these two are just dating and they have 2 kids. So, and they've moved into a new house. Okay, I'm getting it now. Wait, two sets of people wrote this book. Navidson wrote it. No, who was the Zappano? Zappano wrote it first. Then John read it again. Right? Neither of them fixed the typos. Right? That's a theme. I'm picking up on a theme, right? Or am I reading something that isn't there? But isn't that the point of Skinamarink? Who knows? John was busy pissing himself. No, that's themes. Okay. Well, the theme is both authors were pissing themselves badly. That's fine. The reader has begun to read. That's pretty good. I can't see the gameplay, GM. I think the capture broke, but I'm double jumping. Dude. I double jumped. Navidson's constant assignments abroad have led to increased alienation and untold personal difficulties. After nearly 11 years of constant departures and brief returns, Karen has made it clear that Navidson must either give up his professional habits or lose his family. Ultimately unable to make this choice, he compromises by turning reconciliation into a subject for documentation. None of this, however, is immediately apparent. In fact, it requires some willful amnesia of the more compelling sequences ahead. If we are to detect the subtle valences operating between Will and Karen, or as Donna York phrased it, the way they talk to each other, the way they look after each other, and of course, the way they don't. 14. Donna York's In Twain in Redbook. 186, January 1996, page 50. Navidson, we learn, began his project by mounting a number of high 8s around the house and equipping them with motion detectors to turn them on and off whenever someone enters or leaves the room. With the exception of the 3 bathrooms, there are cameras in every corner of the house. Navidson also keeps on hand 2 firm 16mm Aeroflexes and his usual battery of 35mm cameras. Hey, red flag on all of this. Hey, red flag on putting cameras all over your damn house. Like that. Strange. Snowy, what do you... The word mounting? Really? You're question marking after that? He's playing FNAF in real? This book just inspired horror for the next 20 years, huh? That's just what this book did, huh? I'm kidding about that, of course. I don't think that Five Nights at Freddy's learned from this book. He's doing paranormal activity shit, right? Like, there's so many tropes in just this, like, don't fucking insult FNAF like that. Really funny message, but I'm not encouraging the breeding of FNAF fans in here. Is that my phrasing I'm gonna use for that? I meant, like, more of them showing up. Frowning emoji. We're gonna take a moment of silence after that one. It had more of an impact than you'd think. It did a lot for, like, the Slenderman ARGs. Really? Huh. Actually, like, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Like, there's so many elements of this book that I recognize, having never read it. Yeah, Sanity. That was a Horsies reference. The Horsies from Ponytopia are all smiling at you. They're all happy with you, dude. They're all really happy with you. You're not really reading it, though, Faker? Yeah, this is photoshopped. This is a red flag, though. Like, if, like, I'm sorry. They're not married and the dude starts mounting cameras all around the house. Girl, get out of there. Hold on, I need to take a drink. Can I make my eyes vanish? I can't. Okay, I'm gonna look at my damn book.
Karen puts up with so much shit the house isn't even evil yet? I don't know. Being girlfriend to this guy, I feel like the house is already evil. They have been dating 11 years, though. Okay, yeah, but, like, that's not that weird, okay? Some people get married after 5 years. Some people get married after 20, right? That's not the weird part, right? The weird part is setting cameras up in every room. Okay. You know what? I'm moving on. This is just a horror movie husband thing. This becomes a trope for the next 20 years. Sure, whatever. What if they're cameras for Santa's elves or something? Huh.
I never did think of it like that. Nevertheless, as everyone knows, Navidson's project is pretty crude. Nothing, for instance, like the constant eye of CCTV systems routinely installed in local banks, or the lavish equipment and multiple camera operations required on MTV's Real World. The whole effort would seem very home movie-ish at best, were it not for the fact that Navidson is an exceptionally gifted photographer who understands how 1/60th of a second can yield an image worth more than 24 hours of continuous footage. He is not interested in showing all the coverage or attempting to capture some kind of Catholic or otherwise mythical view. Instead, he hunts for moments, pearls of the particular, an unexpected phone call, a burst of laughter, or some snippet of conversation, which might elicit from us an emotional spark and perhaps even a bit of human understanding. More often than not, the near wordless fragments Davidson selects reveal what explication would only the near wordless fragments Davidson selects reveal what explication. Bro, I'm stuck on a 3-syllable word. That soprano being a dick, that's barely a word. Okay, thanks. Airport Valentine, you're promoted. Online Beast, go get into the military chopper. You're being drafted today. Yeah, explication. I couldn't get it for a minute. It's fine. Explication is a word. I don't even... Fuck off. Davidson selects reveal what explication could only approximate. See, I got approximate. Words are easy. 2 such instances seem especially sublime, and because they are so short and easy to miss, it's worth reiterating their content here. In the... What? James, are you even trying? Gamer Crow. What the fuck? In the first one, we see Davidson climbing to the top of the stairs with a crate full of Karen's things. Their bedroom is still cluttered with lamps and bubble wrap and assorted unpacked suitcases and garbage bags full of clothes. Nothing hangs on the walls. Their bed is not made. Davidson finds some room on top of a bureau to set down his load. He's about to leave when some invisible impulse stops him. He takes Karen's jewelry box out of the crate, lifts the hand-carved horn lid, and removes the inner tray. Unfortunately, whatever he sees inside is invisible to the camera. When Karen walks in carrying a basket stuffed with bed sheets and pillowcases, Davidson has already turned his attention to an old hairbrush lying next to some perfume bottles. "What are you doing?" she immediately asks. "This is nice," he says, removing a big clump of her... What? Removing a big clump of her blonde hair from the tines and tossing it into the wastebasket. "Give me that," Karen demands. "Just you watch, one day I'll go bald, and then won't you be sorry you threw that away?" "No," Davidson replies with a grin. What? Dude stealing her hair? Discussion question 16. Is he stealing her hair? Bald's your wife. Aren't you going to do something about this? It's pronounced clump. E-Critter, I really like pronounced. He cleaned her hairbrush out? Okay, that's fine. Ah, fuck. I pinned the wrong damn message. James 17, why aren't you stopping him?
You could say that about the Skinamarink in this book. Why aren't I stopping the damn Skinamarink here, huh? Hey, why aren't you? Why aren't you stopping the Skinamarink? Would you be mad? Whatever. It is unnecessary to dwell here on the multiple ways in which these few seconds demonstrate how much Navidson values Karen. 15. See The Heart's Device by Francis Lightfins in Science. 265, August 5th, 1994. Page 741. Joel Watkins, Jewelry Box, Perfume, and Hair in Mademoiselle, version 101, May 1995. Pages 178 through 181. As well as Hardy Tynek's more ironic piece, Adult Letters and Family Jewels, The American Scholar. Version 65, Spring 1996, pages 219 to 241. Except to highlight how, despite his sarcasm and apparent disregard for her things, the scene in itself represents the exact opposite. Using image and exquisitely controlled edits, Davidson has in effect preserved her hair, called into question his own behavior, and perhaps in some ways contradicted his own closing remark, which, as Samuel T. Glade has pointed out, could refer to either watch, bald, or sorry, or all three. 16. Samuel T. Glade's Omens and Signs in Notes from Tomorrow. Elizabeth Bailey, Delaware, TMA Essay Publications, 1996. Even better, Davidson has permitted the action and subtlety of the composition to represent the profound sentiments at work, without the molestations of some ill-conceived voiceover or manipulative soundtrack. In keeping with this approach, the second moment also does without explanations or disingenuous musical cues. Davidson simply concentrates on Karen Green. Once a model with the Ford agency in New York, she has since put behind her life in Milan fashion shoots and Venetian masks in order to raise her 2 children. Considering how beautiful she appears in the dreadful High 8 tapes, it is hardly surprising editors frequently relied on slides of her pouty lips, high cheekbones, and hazel eyes to sell their magazines. Early on, Davidson gave Karen a High 8, which he asked her to treat like a journal. Her video entries, in which Davidson promised to view only after the film was shot, and then only if she agreed, reveal a 37-year-old woman who worries about leaving the city, growing old, keeping trim, and staying happy. Nevertheless, despite their purely confessional content, it is not a journal entry but rather an unguarded moment captured on one of the house High 8s that demonstrates Karen's almost bewildering dependence on Davidson. I think this lady needs to get out of here. I think that this lady needs to go. I think that she needs to run away. All of this seems, if I'm being honest, very strange. I know, you might be thinking, why would it be weird to do any of this? And in my professional opinion, right? I feel like this guy is giving red flags off before the creatures happen. You can literally just make up your own story and have her leave in your version. Use your fucking imagination. Huh. I guess I can. Well, and then she left. We're taking a quick break because I lost my damn space badly. I lost my damn space badly. So we're doing a quick BRB. Whee! I think I found it, but I need a new drink. I'll be right back, obviously. The silence part of the stream, that was all a jump scare. Count that as one of the times you got scared, chat, okay? I think I found my spot. I think I found my damn spot. Right? Oh, did I? Oh, yeah, I totally did. Yeah, because I just criticized... What's this guy? Chad's the kid. Daisy's the daughter. Karen is the wife. What's the... Navidson. I was trying to remember his first name. Will Navidson. Yeah, I need a beverage. Okay. I'll be back soon, chat. Don't get too scared while I'm gone. And if you do get scared, make note of it and count it as content. Wait, hold on. I need to ban Hornsby before I go. What's your damn problem? Huh? Who untimed out Hornsby? Who let him out? What the hell? What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm glad everyone got scared while I was gone. I may need to go to the House of Ice Cream Sandwich? Oh, that's a good one. Karen sits with Chad and Daisy in the living room 2WINK. Yeah. That's literally the phrase I'm on. Nice find. It's pronounced... Oh, it's pronounced clump. I forgot I pinned that message. The pinner. If dogs could lay eggs, you'd come out of one. Can someone do something about this? Can anyone do something about this? Is there anything to be done? Can we? The perplexed pinner. VIP, please. They should throw you into the pit? What the... Are you attacking someone? Who are you? Tyrannosaurus, why did you attack someone? I don't know what you just did. Stop blowing up and exploding, chat. That's not your damn job. Your damn job is to have happies. OP VIP'd for this message. That would be awesome if they had message ability like that. Sanity. We don't have any of those commands, and I'm not going to give you delicious cookies. See? Candy just timed you out. For treats commands. For begging for treats. You got banned forever. We are not sponsored. That's true. Chat, remember, we are not sponsored by either Snickers, chocolate meal, or the other one. I'm realizing I'm not sure what all the different chocolates Sanity listed were. It happens. If you can't tell, I know you couldn't, but I'm still recovering from surgery, and man, reading for, I'd say 1 hour straight and 1 hour of fucking around, but talking that entire time, it really does take it out of you. So, I do want to finish this chapter, now that I've gotten my spot, and then I think I'm going to sleep for 12 hours straight. Stop being such a baby. I just said recovering from surgery in that sentence. Oh, I'm sorry. I see you flashing your hater license in the chat. My apologies. Right this way, ma'am. Right this way, ma'am. And I'm pointing to a cliff with spikes at the bottom of it. And I'm, like, pointing at it for you. This is my Skinamarink. What is this? What is it? House of Leaves. That is my House of Leaves. I point to a spike trap, and you go to it. Fuck yeah. Whee! Yeah, online beast. That's true. Karen sits with Chad and Daisy in the living room. The children are in the midst of a candle-making project, which involves several empty egg cartons, a dozen long lengths of wick, a bucket of plaster of Paris, and a jar full of crystal wax. Using a pair of red-handed scissors, Daisy cuts the wicks down to 3-inch pieces and then presses them down into an egg cup, which Chad, in turn, fills with a layer of plaster, followed by a layer of the tiny wax beads. The result is some kind of candle with plenty of goop to go around, most of it ending up on the children's hands. Karen helps brush the hair of her daughter's eyes, lest she try to do it herself, end up smearing the plaster all over her face. And yet, even though Karen keeps Chad from overfilling the molds, or Daisy from hurting herself with the scissors, she still cannot resist looking out the window every couple of minutes. The sound of a passing truck causes her to glance away, even if there's no sound. The weight of 100 seconds always turns her head. Though clearly a matter of opinion, Karen's gaze seems just as lost as his. Surfeit with love and longing. 17. Maxie Garton's 100 Looks in Vogue. Version 185, October 1995, page 248.
The reasons are in part answered when at last Navidson's car pulls into the driveway. Karen hardly attempts to contain her relief. She instantly leaps up from the mini candle factory and dashes from the room. Seconds later, no doubt thinking better of herself, she returns. Daisy, hold off using the scissors until I get back. Mommy, Daisy shrills. You heard what I said. Chad, keep an eye on your sister. Mommy, Daisy squealing even louder. Daisy, Mommy also wants you to look after your brother. This seems to appease the little girl, and she actually settles down, smugly eyeing Chad even as she continues to snip wicks. Strangely enough, by the time Karen reaches Navidson in the foyer, she has quite effectively masked all her eagerness to see him. Her indifference is highly instructive, in that peculiar contradiction that serves as connective tissue in so many relationships. It is possible to see that she loves Navidson almost as much as she has no room for him. Hey, the water heater's on the fritz, she manages to say. When did that happen? She accepts his brief kiss. I guess last night. 18. I got up this morning to take a shower, and guess what? No fucking hot water. Pretty evil discovery, especially when you're depending on that watery wake-up call. Me being massively dehydrated from a long night, drunk my road dog Lude and I had winged on our way onto last night. As I'm remembering it now, we somehow ended up at this joint in Pico, and soon thereafter found ourselves in a conversation with some girls wearing black cowboy hats, supposedly lost in their own private blend of brain-hatching euphoria. Thank you, herbal ecstasy, prompting us to put a little verbal ecstasy on them, which would, as it turned out, ultimately lead to them giggling into the night. I've forgotten now what we did exactly to get the whole thing rolling. I think Lude started giving them a trim, whipping out his scissors, which he always had on hand, like old gunslingers, I guess. Always had on their Colts. There he goes, snipping locks and bangs, doing a great fucking job, too. But hey, he's a pro. And all of it in the dark, too, on a bar stool surrounded by dozens of who knows who, fingers and steel clicking away, tiny bits of hair spitting off into the surrounding turmoil. The girl's all nervous until they see he really is the shit. And then they're immediately chirping, me next, and do me, which is too easy to remark upon. And instead, Lude and I remark upon something else, which this time around is all about some insane adventure I supposedly had when I was a pit boxer. Mind you, I'd never heard that term before, nor had Lude. Lude just made it up and I went with it. Oh, come on. They don't want to hear about that, I said, with about as much reluctance as I could reasonably feign. No, hose, you're wrong, Lude insisted. You must. That says hose. It said, chat, it said hose there. It's supposed to read Hoss, and they fucking tricked me with that. This fucking book is a trick on my ass. You must. Very well, I said. Starting them to recall for everyone, at the lonely age of 19, I had climbed off a barge in Galveston. Actually, I escaped, I improvised. See, I still owed my crazy Russian captain $1,000 for a wager I'd lost in Singapore. He wanted to murder me, so I practically had to run the whole way to Houston. Don't forget to tell them about the birds, Lude winked. He was just throwing shit at me, something he loved doing, keeping me on my tones. Sure, I mumbled, stretching for an explanation. This barge I'd been on was loaded with dates and pounds of hash and an incredible number of exotic birds, all of it, of course, illegal to transport. But what did I know? It didn't exactly affect me. And anyway, I wasn't sticking around, so I reach Houston, and the first thing that happens, some twerp comes up and tries to rob me. Lude frowned. He clearly wasn't pleased with what I'd just done to his birds. Dude just pulled a no butt. I ignored him and just continued. This guy just walked straight over and told me to give him all my money. I didn't have a dime on me, but I wasn't like this Weasley son of a bitch had a weapon or anything. So I slugged him. Down he went. But not for long. A second later, he pops up again, and you know what? He's smiling. And this other guy joins him, much bigger, and he was smiling too and shaking my hand, congratulating me. They'd been searching all day for a pit boxer. Pay was $200 a night, and apparently I just made the grade. This Weasley son of a bitch was the head interviewer. His partner referred to him as punching bag. By now, the girls were crowding around me and Lude, sucking down more drinks and all in all falling into the rhythm of the story. Carefully, I led them through that first night, describing the ring with its dirt floor surrounded by hordes of folk that come to bet a few dollars and watch guys hurt themselves, hurt someone else. Gloves were not an option in this kind of fighting. Miraculously, I made it through alive. I actually won my first 2 fights, a couple of bruises, a cut cheap, but I walked with $200 and punching bag, forks, fur ribs, and beer, and even let me crash on his couch. Not bad. So I continued. In fact, for a whole month, I did this twice a week. See the scar on his eyebrow there? Lude pointed, giving the girls one of those all-knowing, completely over-the-top nods. Is that how you broke your front tooth, too? A girl with a ruby pin in her cowboy hat blurted out, though as soon as she said it, I could see she felt bad for mentioning my busted incisor. I'm getting to that, I said with a smile. Why not work the tooth into it too, I thought. After 3 to 4 weeks, I continued. I had enough dough to pay the captain, and even keep a bit for myself. I was pretty tired of the whole thing anyway. The fights were bad enough. And incidentally, I'd won every one, I added. Lude scoffed. But having to be wary all the time around the likes of Punching Bag and his partner, that was by far the worst aspect. Also, as it turned out, the place I was staying in was a whorehouse, full of these sad girls who, between their own senseless rounds, would talk about the simplest, most inconsequential things. I liked it better on the barge, even with the captain and his murderous moods. Well, my last night, the twerp pulls me aside and suggests I bet my dough on myself. I tell him I don't want to because I could lose. You stupid fucking kid, he spits at me. You've won every fight so far. Yeah, I say. So? Well, figure it out. It's not because you're any good. They've all been fixed. I find some lump, pay him $50 to swing and dive, we make a killing on the bets. You won last week. You won the week before. You'll win tonight. I'm just trying to help you out here. So being the stupid kid I was, I bet all the money I had and walked into the ring. Who do you think was waiting there for me? I gave everyone a chance to come up with their own answer, while I drained my glass of beer. But no one had a clue who I was about to fight. Even Lude was a step behind. Of course, that depends on how you look at it. He was also fondling the ass of a girl with a tourmaline in her cowboy hat, while she sat in turn, or so it appeared to me, was caressing the inside of his thigh. In the middle of all those Houston losers, all of them screaming odds, screaming money, licking their gums for blood, stood Punching Bag. Fists all taped up, and not even the flicker of a smile or the slightest bit of recognition in his eye. Boy, let me tell you, he turned out to be a mean-spirited, remorseless son of a bitch. That first round, he knocked me down twice. The second round, I almost didn't get up. All month long, he and his partner had been boosting the numbers on me, so that when Punching Bag, and at this point, he was the long shot, slaughtered me, they'd walk away with a small fortune. Or run. Me, though, a dumb 19-year-old who'd wander into Galveston 3 months at sea, I was gonna lose my money and wind up in a hospital. Maybe worse. Since the fights were just 3 rounds long, I only had one more left to do something. His partner threw a bucket of ice water in my face and told me to crawl out there and get it over with. As I wobbled to my feet, I shook my head, saying it loud enough so he could hear me, but not so loud he'd think I was selling something. I said that it was all too bad because I'd been planning to use my money to buy a shipment of some stuff worth at least 1,000% on the street. Well, the next round, the last round I should say, Punching Bag broke my tooth. I was out. They both originally planned to ditch me, but my little gambit had worked. After what the partner had heard me say, which I'm sure he shared as soon as he could with Punching Bag, they dragged me along, dumped some whiskey into me in their truck, and started grilling me about that stuff I'd been babbling about, trying to find out what was worth 1,000%. Now, I was in a bad way. More than a little afraid of what they'd do. More... what? What the hell? No, that's not a typo. The dumb and dumb 19-year-old was a different font? Yeah, it was. I'm hunting for typos, and I'm seeing ones that don't exist. More than a little afraid that they'd do something really evil if they found out I'd been bullshitting them. Still, if I stayed in Houston, I'd probably be lynched by the betters who, by now, had figured out something was sour, which could only mean one thing to them: all explanations to the grave. Punching Bag and his partner, and me, were to blame. I had to think fast, and beside, I still wanted my money back, so... By now, even Lude was hooked. They all were. The girls all engrossed and smiling and still shimmying closer, as if maybe by touching me they could find out for sure if I was for real. Lude knew it was pure crap, but he had no clue where I was heading. To tell you the truth, neither did I, so I took my best shot. I pointed them to the barge. I hadn't figured out what I'd do once we got there, but I knew the ship was leaving with the tide early next morning, so we had to hurry. Luckily, we arrived in time, and I immediately went off to find the captain, who, as soon as he saw me, grabbed me by the throat. Somehow, between gasps, I succeeded in telling him about Punching Bag and his partner, and their money. All their money, which included my money, most of which was, in essence, the captain's money. That got the bastard listening. A few minutes later, he sauntered over to the duo, poured them coffee mugs full of vodka, and in his incomprehensible accent began going on and on about pure New Guinea value. Punching Bag had no idea what this idiot was talking about, and neither did I for that matter, but an hour and 2 bottles of vodka later, he came to the conclusion that the captain must be talking about drugs. After all, the captain kept mentioning Euphoria, Spanish explorers, and paradise, even though he refused to show Punching Bag the tiniest bit of anything tangible, vaguely referring to custom officials and the constant threat of confiscation and jail. Now here was the clincher. While he's babbling on, this van drives up and a guy no one has ever seen before or ever will see again gets out, gives the captain $1,000, takes one crate and drives off, just like that. And boy, does that do it. Without even examining what he's buying, Punching Bag hands over 5 Gs. The captain, keeping his word, immediately loads 5 crates into the back of Punching Bag's truck. I'm sure the twerp would have inspected them right on the spot, except suddenly in the distance we all started hearing police sirens or harbor patrol sirens or some shit. They weren't after us, but Punching Bag and his partner still got spooked and took off as fast as they could. Even after we got out to sea, the captain was still laughing. I wasn't, though. The bastard wouldn't give me any of my money. By his way of thinking, and him explaining this to me in that incomprehensible accent of his, I owed him for saving my life. Not to mention transporting my sorry ass all the way to Florida, where I finally did end up going, nearly dying in a cold water place called the Devil's Ear, which is an altogether different story. Still, it wasn't so bad, especially when I think now and then about Punching Bag and his partner. I mean, no wonder they did what they said when they finally tore open all those crates and discovered all those fucking birds. Over 50 birds of paradise. A few months later, I did read somewhere about how Houston police busted 2 known felons for trying to unload a bunch of exotic birds at a zoo, which was pretty much how the story ended, or at least the story I told last night. Maybe not verbatim, but close. Unfortunately, nothing happened with the girls. They just ran off giggling into the night. No digits, no dates, not even their names, leaving me feeling dumb and sad. A bit like a broken thermos. Fine on the outside, but on the inside, nothing but busted glass. And why I'm going on about any of this right now is beyond me. I've never seen a bird of paradise. And I sure as hell have never boxed or been on a barge. In fact, just looking at the story makes me feel a little queasy all of a sudden. I mean, how fake it is. Just sort of doesn't sit right with me. It's like there's something else, something beyond it all. A greater story still looming in the twilight, which for some reason, I'm unable to see. Anyway, I didn't mean to wander into all this. I was telling you about the shower. That's what I wanted to deal with. As you probably know, finding out there's no warm water is a particularly unpleasant discovery, simply because it's not something you figure out immediately. You have to let the water run a while, and even though it remains icy, part of you still refuses to believe it won't change, especially if you wait a little longer, or open up the valve a little more. So you wait. But no matter how many minutes run by, you still see no steam, and you still feel no heat. Maybe a cold shower would have been good for me. The thought crossed my mind, but it was already too freezing to try even a quick one. I don't even know why I was freezing. It was a pretty warm time in my place, even warmer outside. Not even my big brown corduroy coat helped. Later, I spotted some workers in back, tackling the water heater. One of them, snorting on a dirty handkerchief, covered in tats, Mason crucified on his back, told me it would be fixed by evening. It's not. Now, I'm sure you're wondering something. Is it just coincidence that this cold water predicament of mine also appears in this chapter? Not at all. Zampano only wrote heater, the word water back there. I added that. Now, there's an admission, huh? Hey, not fair. You cry. Hey, fuck you, I say. Wow, am I mad right now? Clearly a nerve's been hit somewhere. But I don't know how, why, or by what. I sure don't believe it's because of, crummy made-up story or a lousy water heater. Can't follow the feeling. If only any of it were true. I mean, we'd all be so lucky to wind up a punching bag and still find our crates full of birds of paradise. No such luck with this crate. Let the cold water run. It's gotta warm up eventually. Right? What both of these moments reveal is how much Will and Karen need each other, and yet how difficult they find handling and communicating those feelings. Unfortunately, critics have been less than sympathetic. Following the release of the Navidson record, neither Karen nor Navidson's reputation escaped unscathed. Karen, in particular, was decimated by a vituperative. What the fuck? A vituperative stream of accusations from the tabloids, reputable reviewers, and even an estranged sister. Leslie Buckman blows high the roof beams when she calls Karen Green a cold bitch, plain and simple. A high-fashion model, not much smarter than a radiator, who grew up thinking life revolved around club owners, cocaine, and credit card limits. Watching her burble on about her weight, her children, or how much she needs Davidson made me want to retch. How could she say she loves a man when she's incapable of anything even remotely resembling commitment? Did I say she was a cold bitch? She's also a slut. 19. Lie Lexicon and Feminine Wiles by Leslie Buckman, published in All in the Name of Feminism, a collection of essays. Editor Nadine Mostafer, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Citron Press, 1995. Page 334. Buckman is not alone in her opinion. Dale Cordigan also pointed out that Karen was anything but a lovely housewife. Karen hardly gave up the promiscuous behavior that marked her 20s. She only became more discreet. 20. Dale Cordigan, Blurbs, Glamour, version 94, April 1996, page 256. In retrospect, the rabid speculation over Karen's infidelities seems driven by a principally sexist culture, especially since so little attention was paid to Navidson's role in their relationship. As David Little once explained, if he has horns, who's to say he doesn't have hooves? 21. A Horny Duo by David Little, Untreather, July-August 1993. Fortunately, unlike the biased treatment offered by the media, Navidson does not hesitate to constantly include in his film evidence of his own failings. In fact, as of late, many have called into question the accuracy of this self-portrait, observing that Navidson may have gone too far out of his way to cast himself as a less than favorable partner. 22. Ascension Gerson's The Vanity of Self-Loathing. In Collected Essays on Self-Portraiture, editor Harl Nervine, Honolulu, University of Hawaii Press, 1995, page 58. What do you mean, House of Sex real? Discussion question 17. Shut the fuck up about House of Sex. That's not a question. How do I phrase this? Oh, here's how I phrase that into a question. Question number 17. Can you please shut the fuck about House of Sex? I didn't even say it right. This is my sentence, and I didn't even say it right. Vile Evil, that's a really good message. Why did you make up that chapter? House of... Okay. Sorcery and Socialism, that's pretty clever. House of Sexism, that's pretty good. I like that. I don't like sexism. I don't like sexism. That's not what I mean, like... I think the book is clever in its, like, direct addressment of, like, sexism being why everyone's being mean to Karen in the book. Well, you all are gonna take my words out of context. I will say, it is, so far, kind of funny. No, shut up. Quiet, Sorcery and Socialism. Chat, listen. I will say, so far, it is interesting that this book, like, directly talks about feminism right there. But, like, the other editor, John, is kind of just a huge, like, douchebag. He's kind of just like a womanizer. Again, I get that that's the theme, and I'm just reading the book at an incredibly surface level, I might add. It's interesting. It is interesting. Huh, hold on. I need to take a sup of water. Kill Hornsby? Got it. Anything. Fuck. I almost timed out airport. Fuck. There we go. Some would say you're barely reading at surface level. Online beast. We know you can't read. It's fine. Sub of Oiter? Yeah. I gotta get my sub of Oiter. They said this chapter was fucking 11. Okay, I'm on page 42. Okay, this is literally the last page. Okay. My god. I was like, they said 11 pages. I'm at page 42. That's 12 pages. No, Sergeant Soppy. 31 plus 11 is... That's 42. Yeah. I'm realizing that now. Okay. They got my ass in the quote retweets. That means it takes you 4 minutes per page? Hey. That's not actually true. I took a long break. I had to go find a cup of water, and we only had one in the garage. There was only water in the garage, chat. There is only water in the garage, chat. Okay. Do you want to read the book with me? Be quiet, Sorcery and Socialism. Stop talking about cock. Not only does Davidson reveal through Karen, Chad, and Daisy how he spent the last decade perfecting a career in distance where taking off on a moment's notice to shoot Alaskan fishing boats was something his family just had to accept, even if that 3-day trip slowly evolved into weeks and even months. He also, by way of the film, admits to carrying around his own alienating and intensely private obsessions. As it turns out, though, the first hint concerning these dark broodings does not come from him, but from Karen. Davidson's early High 8 journal entries are so easy and mild they rarely, if ever, allude to deeper troubles. Only Karen, staring straight into that little lens, brings up the problem. He mentioned Delisle again, she says in an extremely clipped tone. I've warned him if he's not going to tell me who she is, he better not damn bring her up. Part of this move south was supposed to be about putting the past and all that behind us. He's been pretty good, but I guess he can't control his dreams. Last night, I wasn't sleeping very well. I was cold. It's the middle of May, but I felt like I was just lying in a freezer. I got up to get a blanket, and when I came back, he was talking in his sleep. Delisle, just like that, out of the blue. And I'm certain, because he said her name twice, almost shouted it. As it turns out, Karen was not the only one who was kept in the dark about Delisle. Even friends and fellow photojournalists who had heard Davidson use the name before, but never received any sort of explanation. No one had any idea who she was, or why it was she haunted his thoughts and conversation like some sort of albatross. Is an albatross a haunting bird? What? It's not a haunting bird, it's a whatever. 23. Since the revelation, there's been a proliferation of material on the subject. Chapter XIX deals exclusively with the subject. See also Chris Ho's What's in a Name, Afterimage, version 31, December 1993. Dennis Sakes Delisle. Indianapolis Press, 1995. Jennifer Katz Delisle. Beatrice and Ducelina, Englewood's Class, N.J. Thumas Incorporated, 1996. Lester Bremen's 'Tis But a Name in Ebony, number 6, May 1994, page 76. And Tab Florist's Ancient Devotions, Berkeley, University of California Press, 1995. Oh. That said, while the first sequence certainly hints at a number of underlying tensions in the Davidson Green family, all brought into relief by this chapter, it is crucial not to lose sight of the prevailing sense of bliss still evoked in these opening minutes. After a couple of nights, Chad no longer has trouble sleeping. After a couple of days, Daisy's nipped finger heals. The heater is easily repaired. Even both parents enjoy a private moment where their hands can playfully unlock and interlock. Will finally putting his arm around Karen as she, letting out a heart-stirring sigh, rests her head on his shoulder. In fact, it is rare to behold such radiant optimism in anything these days, let alone in films, each frame so replete with promise and hope. Davidson clearly cherishes these bucolic, near-idyllic impressions of a new world. Of course, nostalgia's role in shaping the final cut must not be forgotten, especially since, within a year of these pieces, were all Davidson had left. Karen and the children is a mere blur, racing down the staircase, the pointillism of their pet's paw prints caught on the dew-covered lawn, or the house itself an indefinite shimmer, setting quietly on the corner of Succoth and Ash Tree Lane, bathed in afternoon light. Chapter 3. It is no accident that the photographer becomes a photographer any more than the lion tamer becomes a lion tamer. Quote from Dorothea Lange. Sex, by the way? What do you mean sex, by the way? Discussion question 17. What do you mean sex, by the way? Suck off Lane? Really? No, I'm going back up and I'm reading that. What the hell was the lane called? Okay, fine, yeah. It says Succoth. Succoth. You're in trouble. You're all in trouble for this one. Yeah, literally. Tyrannosaurus Rex, does she? Is that really what she does? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And of course it gets pinned. Of course it gets pinned. Of course, my moderators rebel against me. They lived on Suck Off Lane. Badass. Pin that. Dude, pin that. Downvote? Dude, pin that. That's awesome. Dude, pinned? Pin that. Pin every message, yo. A little sloppy toppy as a treat? Oh my god. James, is it true that if you don't finish this book in free streams, you'll get your current PFP tattooed? No, that's not true. That's not true at all. This book is long, and I have no throat for it. We'll see. This was a lot of fun. You are... Would you fuck the house? Oh my god. Okay. Listen. Listen to me, chat. Listen to me, chat. Okay? Discussion question number 13. Are you going to survive?